And good afternoon. Welcome to Mike Carter Field. This is Dr. John Groth on the pregame show. Final regular season game of the season, and the Apaches have done a masterful job of putting themselves right in the middle of the playoff picture. Still a lot of answers to questions on who they'll play and where they'll be, but the Apaches have won their last 8 conference games in a row. They split a doubleheader with this same Grayson Viking team that they'll play today in a non-conference game. Final game of the year for both clubs on the regular season schedule. The Grayson Vikings right at the top of the North Texas Junior College Athletic Conference. They're second right behind Weatherford, just a game behind the Weatherford Coyotes. So really good club. They had a good doubleheader, well played on Thursday. And I have to tip of the cap to the coaches that were able to avoid the weather situation in both areas in rescheduling this. This was originally going to be a 2-gamer and here at Mike Carter on Wednesday, and this game would have been played up in Denison on the campus of Grayson College, but they looked at the weather and they looked at their best chance to get all 3 in, and they decided to go ahead and go 2 on Thursday at Grayson, and then a single game here at Mike Carter Field today to finish up the regular season for both clubs. So really good job by the coaches to kind of look through, and not always an easy thing. You got to be half meteorologist to be a college baseball coach, and especially the junior college level where you don't have a ton of support staff giving you that information. But today we'll have a beautiful day here at Mike Carter Field. Sun is out. I can't see a cloud in the sky. We got a north wind, which that'll be the hitter's delight today. The ball's going to go out today if it gets up in the air. So might be a little different than it was at Grayson the other day. Had a couple of pitchers do, especially that nightcap. But anyways, that'll set the table here for hearing from both these head coaches. The head coach for the Grayson Vikings is Coach Hernandez. He is in his 3rd season. Played junior college baseball at Cisco and then played his 4-year baseball at Oral Roberts, and then played some years in the minors with the Seattle Mariners. And he was involved with the Dallas Tigers for quite a while, the select team out of the Dallas area. And 3 years ago was named the head coach for the Grayson Vikings. They are 32-20 on the season, and so they are very similar in terms of their overall record to the Apaches. They are, at this point, they were in the poll earlier. They are still receiving votes in the national poll. They are 24-8 in conference play, which is the North Texas Junior College Athletic Conference. They are right behind the Weatherford Coyotes just by a game. So Coach Hernandez has got his Viking club in a good position. And we talked about his team this year. We also talked about how they structure playoffs. Let's hear from him right now. All right, we're outside the Viking dugout with Coach Hernandez, the head coach. And Coach, you've got some great experience. A little bit of pro ball, played for Cisco, so you know the JUCO thing, and then Oral Roberts. You guys are sitting really well near the top of your conference. Had a nice year. Talk about your club's season this year.
Yeah, I mean, come to find out, our team's a bunch of grinders. You know,
Right.
That's kind of the mentality as a JUCO player that you want, especially moving on to the next level. But no, I mean, these guys have a lot of confidence in each other. They love each other. They're willing to push each other. But at the end of the day, they want to fight for each other. And that's been kind of what our success has been so far. So it's been really good.
Well, I know one of the things that impressed me a little bit, you got 6 hitters with 32 or more RBIs. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you're getting it done up and down that lineup.
Yeah.
And probably any given day,
Yeah.
there are certain guys, and that adds up to a good team
Yep.
and a team that's going to have a chance to win some championships. So,
Sure.
talk about your offense, what you like about them, what kind of offense we can expect.
Yeah.
Are you boppers? Are you going to run a little bit?
Yeah,
a little bit of both?
So I think we're definitely more home run double team than stealing bases. But at the same time, they grind out at bats, like I was saying. We get to that approach to where it's hitters counts. We want to hit our fastballs. We want to get on time with it. And when it's 2 strikes, we want to bear down and do a job, put it in play. But I think our guys have done a really, really good job throughout the entire year. February, we started off a little bit slow, but the guys sort of clicked a little bit. And once it clicked and they started trusting that process, it was you see the line go down where it's the next man up. You know, if this guy doesn't get the job done, I want to make sure I get it for him. So it's been a good team effort for everybody.
Well, that helps the whole dugout, the mindset, the morale in there.
Yeah.
There are a couple of guys, Austin Godwin and Caleb Hoover, have really kind of they're putting some numbers up. Talk about those guys.
Yeah, so Hoover, he's out now. He got hit in the hand 2 weeks ago, okay. So he's probably going to be out the rest of the year unless we make a run. So, But yeah, no, he was having a great year, a lot of home runs. And Austin, true freshman. I mean, he's stepped up big.
Wow.
He's had a lot of good numbers, and again, we knew that coming in where his bat-to-ball skills are really, really good. So the big thing with him is being able to hit in the middle of the lineup, score runs, do jobs. And, again, it's been time and time again where he's been up to the plate with the game on the line, and he's done a really good job of accepting that role and doing what he needs to do to get it done.
Well, you had 2 games the other day that were very interesting. You usually could have swept, wild pitch here, home run there. All of a sudden it's bang, instead of winning, you're losing an extra. In the second game, man, really big pitcher's duel. I mean, you guys had 1 inning where you kind of strung a couple of things. They got a walk and a couple of hits with 2 outs. And that was the difference. So today, the good thing about both of you guys is that these games are kind of a tune-up for playoffs. Pitching-wise, I don't know if you're going to go with Parker Moore. Who's going to get the ball today?
Yeah, Grady Moore is going to get the ball today. Okay. He's been out a couple weeks. His last week was his first start in about 2 weeks, so we're going to give him the ball again. I mean, Grady's been good for us all year, so is Kai. So those 2 guys have been really good for us. But, yeah, I mean, baseball happens. That's what happened on Thursday whenever we played. Right. So baseball happens, Again, this is a good team that we're playing against, and everybody knew that. But it's definitely a good team to go to on a bye week, especially going into the postseason. This is a team that's going to contend for a national championship, and we're getting a taste of it late, and that's what we need for our guys.
All right, so let's talk about I know how it works in the North with these guys. 1 and 3 will stay. 2 and 4 will cross over. Is your playoff similar in 5?
So now they actually made a change this year to where 1 and 2 are hosts, 3 and 4 travel. So 1 and 2. So we're fortunate enough to be hosting this year.
Okay, nice.
Yep. So we'll be hosting looking like the number 3 seed. So I think it's going to be New Mexico, and then obviously the West travels.
So will you play 2 out of 3 and then the 4 winners?
Yep. We'll go 2 out of 3, and then the 4 winners will play double elimination.
Is it double elimination that second week? Is that at a neutral, or is it at highest seed left? Or
so it's going to be over on the West side this year. Okay. So we made the change this year, but we already had it incorporated where we're going to the West regardless.
Gotcha.
So.
Will it be highest seed? A high seed is still left in the West?
I believe so. So, yeah, we could be traveling wherever. So we're excited for it. So hopefully we can take care of business today, get to next week, focus on that, take care of business, and move on there.
Well, congrats on getting the job. I know that I've got a long-standing relationship with Tim Tadlock. He used to come over for our tournament quite often here at Mike Carter Field. And so wish you guys the best. Thanks for playing this series, because I think it's really beneficial for both of you. We got a beautiful day. We're going to play a single 9. Again, hope today goes well, and hope you guys get to Grand Junction.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right, big shout out to Cal Hernandez for his time. I'm going to go ahead and go right into Coach Doe's comments about the other day and about the playoff picture. So let's hear from Coach Doe right now. All right, we're here with Brett Doe, head coach for the Apaches, and let's talk a little bit about the doubleheader the other day. I mean, you guys blow a rabbit out of a hat in that first one. Wild pitch. But, I mean, Zach leads the game off with a homer.
Yes.
And, I mean, that's great. I mean, just sets the tone. They get a lead, and then you guys come back and take advantage of the fact you get it to extras, and you scratch out a win. And then it's just a pitcher's duel that second game. They got a walk and a couple of hits in 1 inning with 2 outs, and really that was all the offense. So talk about what happened over there and what your game plan is for today.
Over there it was a lot of guys on both teams. Both teams threw a lot of different arms, and everybody went into the game was pretty sharp, and multiple pitches for a strike kept guys off balance. They don't have a hitter's eye in center. It was a cloudy day. It was kind of tough to pick up spin, and every pitcher that came into the game on both sides was able to spin and mix and keep hitters off balance.
It makes for some low-scoring games.
Yes, and so in Game 1, I think it was the first, we finished with 0 runners left on base and won a game. And so I don't know if I've ever seen that. Yes. So Game 2 was getting base runners on, and we just couldn't get a big hit in the right moments, but had some good ABs and everything, off some good arms. And going into today, it is kind of the same thing with it being a non-conference right before the postseason, is get guys some ABs. We don't want to leave guys in too long and run the risk of people getting injured, and we want to get guys in that haven't gotten a ton of ABs lately, so that they're sharp and they've had an AB going into the postseason.
Keep the pen ready.
Yes, pen ready, and we'll have guys coming in and out of the bullpen. We'll have pinch hitters all day, so you better be on your P's and Q's, Coach.
Well, how nice is it to have an opponent like Grayson? I mean, they're right at the top of their conference. They got a chance to make a nice run this year as well. Have the off week the same week you do.
Yes.
And, you guys you've done an amazing job. You won your last 8 conference games to put yourself just right where you want to be. And short of having the tiebreaker with Bossier, you could have won the conference if that had been the case, but you still could finish anywhere second, third, or fourth.
Yes.
How nice is it to be able to play a good opponent right before you head into playoffs?
Oh, it's really nice. One, that they are in the same boat that we are. Of, both teams understand what these games are for, and you want to win these games, but
kind of a dress rehearsal.
Yes, and it's something where we're not going to have to worry about ejections or anything like that because nobody wants to get ejected in this game.
Exactly.
Because then you can't play the first couple games there, and so it's not worth it. And it's good, playing an opponent that is also playing for something. One, they didn't cancel on us. You never know with this last week having a bye.
Exactly.
If somebody doesn't have anything to play for, they may not show up and play. So we're thankful to be playing a good opponent and get to see arms that are similar to what we're going to see there going into the regional tournament.
Well, I saw you're going with I think Will to start.
Yes.
Will we have a pretty good mix of pitchers today as well?
Yes. Will's going to go 1 or 2 innings depending on pitch count, and then we'll Dylan Davenport right after him, and then just kind of mix in a lot of different guys after that.
Well, I'm thankful that my schedule worked, that I could do this last regular game, and probably good chance this will be my last game to do for you. So, Brett, I just want to say thanks. You've given me a lot of your time all season long, and what a great thing you guys have done. A couple weeks ago, it didn't look great, and you guys really played well down the stretch. And so congrats on that. You guys are right in the playoff mix. You're playing your best baseball when your best baseball is what you want to play. So congrats on a great season. And again, thanks for giving me all the time you did this season.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for being here. It's been a fun ride that we've been on this year, and a fun year one. And I appreciate you and everything you do for us and everybody else behind the scenes to make this happen. But it is A+ production quality. I enjoy going and watching it back, and I appreciate everything, Coach.
Well, let's go get another one.
Let's do it.
All right, big shout out to Coach Doe and to Coach Hernandez for their pregame time. So this is Dr. John Groth. We are underway. Next pitch is going to be in there, and it's 2 balls and a strike on the leadoff hitter, Sloan Barrett, the second baseman. We'll walk you through these lineups as we can here first half inning. Will Patterson, the windup and the delivery, swing and a miss, 2-2. Leadoff hitter Sloan Barrett, he's the second baseman for the Grayson Vikings. Vikings are 32-20 on the year, 24-8 in conference. That's good for second place in the North Texas Junior College Athletic Conference. There's strike 3. And Barrett is a strikeout victim to start the ball game. Cal Hernandez in his third year as a skipper. So Sloan Barrett led off there with a called third strike. Now it's the center fielder, J.T. Sorega. He's another lefty. He'll step in from the left side. Batting third is the left fielder, Nick Sanders. There's first pitch swinging. That's out of play on the left side, strike 1. Batting cleanup is the first baseman, Austin Godwin. Batting fifth, shortstop, Brandon Creek. Batting sixth is the DH, Andrew Schultz. Batting seventh, right fielder, Easton Paxton. Batting eighth is the third baseman, Chase Womack. Next pitch misses outside, 1-1. And batting ninth for the Vikings, the catcher, Brandon Sidemeyer. The catcher. And on the mound for the Vikings, Grady Moore. Next pitch misses high and away, 2-1. So that lineup, Barrett, the leadoff hitter, Sonega, 2, and Sanders, 3. Godwin, 4, Creek, 5, Schultz, 6, Paxton, 7, Womack, 8, and Sidemeyer, 9. 2-2 pitch from Patterson, fouled off again. Defensively for the Apaches, in left field, Levi Reisenhofer. In center, Dalton Wilson. In right field, Preston Newberry. Around the infield, it's Grayson Linscomb at third. Nico Ruedas at short. Zach Zavala at second. Gabe Flores at first. Chase Fuentes behind the plate. And on the mound, 6'6", 230, a left-handed sophomore from the Colony, Texas, Will Patterson. Will Patterson's 4-3 on the year with a 5.77 ERA. Here's the payoff. Ground ball to short. This is going to be Ruedis catching, throwing, 2 outs. Patterson, his 14th appearance of the year for the Apaches, all 14 as a starter. 4-3 with a 5.77 ERA, 48 1/3 innings pitched, 39 strikeouts, 26 walks. A left-handed sophomore from Hebron High School in the Colony, Texas, Will Patterson. 2 outs in the first inning, big leg kick, swing and a miss. This is Nick Sanders for the first time. And he had the big leg kick. Sanders listed on the roster, 6'2", 215 out of Waco, Texas. Next pitch is going to miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sloan Barrett is a sophomore out of Harrison, Arkansas. And Senega, the center fielder, who grounded out to short. Senega listed as a freshman from Weatherford, Texas. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're at the 3 spot. So far, Patterson's been perfect. The 1-2. Boy, changed up on him and just got a piece of it. Fouls it straight over our heads. We'll stay 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nick Sanders playing left field today for the Grayson Vikings. Vikings are in second place. They've won 8 of their last 10. And one of those losses was to the Apaches. They split a doubleheader on Thursday. Game 1, extra inning affair, 6-4 Apaches. They scored 2 in the 7th on a wild pitch and a 2-run home run by Levi Reisenhover in the 8th inning that gave them the 6-4 win. They got out-hit by the Vikings 9-4, but the score was 6-4 Tyler. And so the Apaches get game 1, and then in game 2, a pitcher's duel extraordinaire, a 2-0 win for the Vikings. 2-2 pitch, missed high, full count. The only runs scored were in the bottom of the 5th, a 2-out rally, a walk, a double, and a single. And just like that, that's all they needed. 2-0. Vikings split the doubleheader on Thursday. So that sets the table for today. I don't know if that hit him or not. Mr. Umpire might have got hit. He's kind of looking down at the ground. Ball's over in the on-deck area, and Fuentes goes over and picks it up. I'm going to mark it down as a walk. Mr. Umpire did not call anything differently. So Sanders aboard. There goes the perfect game. 2 outs. Here's the cleanup hitter, Austin Godwin. What a year he's having. 391 on the season, 16 doubles, 4 homers, 49 driven in for the Viking first baseman, and first pitch is in there for strike 1. Glad you're with us. If you get a chance, shoot an email my way. Email's right there on the front of the screen, bottom right corner, so love to know who you're rooting for, where you're watching from. Beautiful day here in Tyler. Game time temperature 69 degrees. Not a cloud in the sky. Humidity has dropped with this cold front that came through last night. We got a north wind. Boy, that's a hitter's wind. That ball's going to go up, and it's going to go out of here today. 10 to 18 miles an hour. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Boy, he got jammed, and this is going to be Zavala throwing him out, and there's your inning. 4-3 if you're scoring at the house. Side retired here in the first inning. Grayson 0, the Apaches coming to the plate. All right, let's go ahead and walk you through the Tyler lineup as we go to the bottom of inning number 1. The Apaches have also won 8 of their last 10, and they are 33-20 on the season. 17-13 is their final conference record for 2025. They have the bye this week, so they have to sit and wait and see what happens with the rest of the conference. We'll give you all the different scenarios as the game progresses here, but the Apaches can do no worse than 4th. So they're in the playoffs, and the other teams will duke it out today. doubleheader day for everyone else in Region 14 North. The Apaches are led by first-year head coach Brett Doe, and the pitching coach is Eli Egger. Here's the lineup Coach Doe has put down for today's ballgame. Leading off is the right fielder Preston Newberry. Batting second, the catcher Chase Fuentes. Batting third, the designated hitter Micah Roberts. Batting cleanup, second baseman Zach Zavala. Batting fifth, left fielder Levi Reisenhuber. Batting sixth, the third baseman Grayson Linscomb. Batting seventh, the center fielder Dalton Wilson. Batting eighth, shortstop Nico Ruedas. And batting ninth for the Apaches, first baseman Gabe Flores. Defensively for the Vikings, Nick Sanders in left field, J.T. Senega in center, Easton Paxton in right. Around the infield, Chase Walmack at third, Brandon Creek at short, Sloan Barrett at second, Austin Godwin at first, Brandon Sidemeyer behind the plate. On the mound, 6'1", 195, a right-handed sophomore from Weatherford, Texas, Grady Moore. Grady Moore 1-2 on the year with a 4.32 ERA. This is his 10th appearance, all 10 as a starter. 33 1/3 innings pitched, 36 strikeouts, 15 walks. Sophomore from Weatherford, Texas, Grady Moore. First pitch for Moore just misses for ball one. This is Preston Newberry stepping in for the Apaches. Coach Doe reminded me to keep my pen handy. We're going to see a lot of guys today. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. Newberry, a sophomore, 5'10", 180 out of Tyler, Texas. Went to Legacy High School. They're playing right now to try to advance in their playoffs in Caddo Mills. I think, who did they put? Rockwall, I think. Rockwall won last night in a pitcher's duel. And so Legacy will try to advance in the playoffs today. They got the rubber game of the 3-game series. Newberry is from Legacy. He also is a transfer from Weatherford College. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Moore going from the stretch, the pitch. Popped up left side, playable. And this is going to be Nick Sanders in left field. Camping under it, makes the catch. 1 out. So Newberry flies out to right. That'll bring up the catcher, Chase Fuentes. 5'11", 195, a freshman out of the Woodlands, Texas. Chase Fuentes batting second today. And now we got the first pitch is in there for a strike. It looks like that live stats is popping now, so that's good news. Somebody's keeping it up in the dugout. No balls in the strike. The kick and the pitch from Moore, that's going to be low. Counts even. Well, we'll be scoreboard watching as best we can here today, as the Apaches in second place as the day starts behind Bossier. Bossier plays a doubleheader at home against Angelina. That's a 2 o'clock first pitch, so they haven't started. They haven't started yet, and so they'll be behind a little bit. Paris is at Panola today. They're underway. 1-2 pitch up the middle and through, base hit. There goes the no-hitter. Chase Fuentes, a 5-hopper that Brandon Creek, the shortstop, got his glove on, but it ticked off his glove into center. So I'm putting 1B8 on my score sheet. Runner first, 1 out. Michael Roberts, the designated hitter, will step in. Last regular season game for both these clubs. Next stop, playoffs. And the interesting thing is neither team knows where they're going. And in Region 14 North for the Apaches, we do know that Bossier has clinched the play. They've clinched first place, so they will host. And whoever finishes third will head to Bossier with the Cavaliers, and they will play the 2 and 4 from the South. And the South is finishing today as well, as that pitch is called a strike. It's 1-1. The South is also finishing up their regular season today. And so still some questions there as to who's going to finish in what place. So Bossier's in first. Tyler in second right now. Bossier's 17-11, by the way, as they start play today. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. takes low, 2 balls and a strike. Tyler, 17-3, done with conference. They have the bye this week. They're in second by percentage points. Paris, 15-13. They're at Panola, 1 o'clock start there, so they're just underway. Paris is 15-13, as is Northeast Texas. They're at Navarro, and they started at 1. Ball in the dirt. There goes the runner. Throw to second. Fuentes will get there. He wasn't running, was he? That was a good read, so it's a wild pitch that will move Fuentes to second base. So now you got the first Apache in scoring position with 1 out and a 3-1 count on designated hitter Micah Roberts. If Roberts reaches, it would be Zach Zavala next for the Apaches. 3-1. Low, and there it is, ball 4. First walk issued by Moore. And first and second, 1 out for Zach Zavala, the second baseman. Zach Zavala, redshirt sophomore, 5'9", 190 out of Georgetown, Texas. Georgetown High School product. And University of Houston transfer. And I'm pretty sure Zach played for Jordan Vieira, former Apache. First pitch swing and fouls it off. And that's Coach Doe making less than his best effort at that. Ball trickles down into the warning track area in left field corner. 327 down the lines, 361 in the gaps, about 370 straight away here at Mike Carter. 0-1 pitch, a little chin music, look out. Zavala has to duck out of the way. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. So Northeast at Navarro at 1. Again, Panola is 14-14, and they're hoping they can get in that 4 spot. They play at home against Paris. Hammered but foul, third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Zach Zavala. Grady Moore, 16 pitches so far in this first inning. Will Patterson threw 23 this first half inning. Pop up, right center field, playable out there for Senega. He'll grab it and throw it in. And there's 2 outs. Hustling over to third is Fuentes. So you got runners in the corners now with 2 outs for Levi Reisenhoover. He had the game-winning home run in extra innings on Thursday. 2-run shot that propelled the Apaches to a 6-4 win. And he'll step in with 2 on here and 2 outs. Reisenhoover, 5'10", 185. He's out of Euless, Texas. Trinity High School product. First pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. Grayson, long history of good junior college baseball. I'm pretty sure they've won a national championship, maybe a couple. And current Texas Tech coach Tim Tadlock back in the day. I remember when Tim Tadlock was the assistant coach at Hill College. And eventually got the head job at Grayson and had success there, and up he went. Now he's doing good things for the Red Raiders. That ball got him. Just tipped Reisenhoover, and he'll take his base. So now you have Apaches on every base for the 6th hitter, Grayson Linscomb. Linscomb playing third base. And he's got a golden opportunity here with 2 outs to give the Apaches the early lead. 6'4", 225, the big fella from Houston. Houston Memorial product. First pitch swing and foul down the right field line. Strike 1. A line drive. But well foul. Jamie Ritchie down there. He's got the lightweight long sleeve hoodie on today. And Coach Doe's got the short sleeve hoodie. Lightweight hoodie. That pitch misses. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. So this is, for all practical purposes, a dress rehearsal for both these teams. Non-conference tilt, and both of them will be in playoffs next weekend. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good off speed. And it's 1-2 the Apache third baseman, Grayson Linscomb. Grady Moore, the sophomore from Westford, he's trying to wiggle out a bit of a jam here in the first inning. The 1-2. Up the middle. It could be through, and it is. One run's home. Here comes the second one. Throw to third will not be in time. A 2-run RBI by Grayson Linscomb gives the Apaches a 2-0 lead. So he'll go to second on the throw. And the Apaches score in their half of inning number 1. By the way, we're playing real baseball today. Full 9-inning game. I guess we could get run rule in play here, but the way these two played the other day, wouldn't think there'd be a likelihood of a run rule. But here's the 7-hitter, Dalton Wilson, center fielder for the Apaches. First pitch is in there, strike one. Wilson, a sophomore, 6 foot 195. He's out of Greenwell Springs, Louisiana. Catholic high school product. He's going to see a 0-1 pitch coming up from Grady Moore. Off the plate, 1-1. Well, let's just see if we got any early returns here on that scoreboard. Little tapper in the 6-hole. Tough play, not going to be able to make it. Second runner's being waved home. Here's the throw. Got him. And so that'll be an infield single for Wilson. He will get an RBI. Coming home to score the first run was Reisenhoover. Linscomb tried to score. That'll go 6-2 on the putout at the plate. The Apaches, however, end up getting 3 runs on 3 hits. They'll leave a guy on. And we're through 1 complete inning here at Mike Carter Field in Tyler, Texas. Your score, Tyler 3, Grayson 0. Back in just a minute. You're watching Tyler Baseball on ApacheAthletics.com. Welcome back to Tyler, Texas. Dr. John Groth with you on the play-by-play. And for the Vikings, it'll be 5-6-7. First pitch from Will Patterson, fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Patterson threw 23 pitches in his first inning of work. Brandon Creek, the shortstop, at the plate for the Vikings. Creek listed as a freshman, 6 foot 185 out of Liberty Hill, Texas. Next pitch is going to miss, 2-0. So if the Apaches finish second, next pitch fouled straight back, 2-1. If they finish second, there's a strong possibility they would end up going down to Blinn, as Blinn is at the top of that Region 14 South Conference going into play today. Now, that's not guaranteed because I think they're just maybe a game ahead of Sanjak. And if you look at the standings, they're pretty tight. I think they're within a game or so of each other. So 3-1 pitch just missed. There's second walk of the day for Will Patterson. And Grayson gets their leadoff hitter aboard here in the second. Here's the DH, Andrew Schultz.
Number 41, Andrew Schultz.
Andrew Schultz listed as a sophomore, 6'2", 200 out of Coppell, Texas. shows bunt and pulls back, and it's called a strike. 0-1. Runner going, throw down, got him. Boy, what a tag by Ruedis. 2-6 on the caught stealing. Brandon Krieg gunned down. And what a tag by Ruedis. That ball hit before it got to him, and he picked it off the turf and applied the tag immediately. Pitch is called a strike. 1-2. So the base runner is wiped away. And Schultz now with a 1-2 count. Patterson working quickly. Swing. I thought he went, and he did. Strikeout number 2 for Will Patterson. Tell you what, Will Patterson kind of has turned it around a little bit. He went through a little bit of a lull, and his last couple outings have been solid. And this is another one of those. A 0 in the first. He still hadn't given up a hit. He's walked a couple guys. First pitch is going to miss high, ball 1. At the plate, right fielder Easton Paxson. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Paxton, a freshman, 5'10", 160. He's out of Waco, Texas. The 1-1. High and inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Tell you what, I like the fact Will is really working at a good pace. At the windup, 2-1 pitch, fouled straight back, 2-2. Well, we'll probably get into the low to mid 70s during this ball game. 69 at first pitch, 53% humidity. We got a north wind today, 10 to 18 miles an hour. That's going to blow out. And probably a little bit out towards right field. More towards right than left. Check swing, and it's a full count. Here's the payoff from Will Patterson. And he walked him. Well, you can't give freebies. That's going to be 3 walks here in the first 2 innings for Will Patterson. And when you're in playoffs, good teams are going to make you pay for that. Now it's the 8-hitter, Chase Womack, the third baseman. Womack, sophomore, 6'1", 215 out of Frisco. Takes high, ball 1. Well, what's today? Saturday, so you're going to have a little less than a week off. Both these clubs will. I think most of the tournaments start next Saturday. 1-0 pitch. And the big league club across town, UT Tyler, they're starting playoffs tonight. When I'm calling their games, the Apaches are the AAA club, so just so you know. We got a lot of guys that go from here across town to the big league club, so when I'm over here, I'll call the UT Tyler Patriots the big league club. They have won 14 in a row over there. They host A&M Kingsville tonight, 7 o'clock first pitch. 3-0 pitch, not close. Back-to-back walks. And Patterson has walked 3 of the 4 batters he's faced in this inning. So you got first and second, 1 out. Or 2 outs, excuse me. The caught stealing helped Will out there. And here comes Eli Egger. You thought that might happen. Here's the 9-hitter, Brandon Seidmeyer. Seidmeyer on the roster, a sophomore, 5'9", 185. He's from Magnolia, Texas. And they're going to go ahead and make a change. Will might have a little bit of an issue. They're going to make a change right here. And we'll let you know who the new pitcher is when we return, but that'll be all for Will Patterson. Back in just a minute. All right, let's try to keep you up to speed here, and we'll let you know who the new pitcher is here in a moment. So Blinn goes into today 1 game ahead of Sanjak. Blinn is at the top of Region 14 South, 27-7. If they hold their ground today, they would host the number 2 and number 4 teams from Region 14 North, where the Apaches live. So Sanjak, just 1 game out going into today, 27-8. Wharton Wright is next, 17-18. Alvin at 15-19. So really, the 4 teams in the South are already determined. It just really the only thing that's going to adjust here is that 1 and 2 might flip-flop and 3 and 4 might flip-flop. So, all right, let's who's the new pitcher, 32? Who is it? All right, Dylan Davenport. Give you some data on Mr. Davenport. Dylan Davenport, 5'10", 170. And he is a right-handed freshman from Carthage, Texas. So he'll come in here in the 2nd inning with 2 outs, relieving Will Patterson. And I'll give you some stats on Mr. Davenport. Will Davenport, 0-0 with a 4.00 ERA. He has appeared in 6 games before today, so this is his 7th appearance. He does have 3 starts under his belt. And Dylan has thrown 9 innings, and he has struck out 9 and walked 6. So the new pitcher is Dylan Davenport. And he'll inherit a couple of base runners with 2 outs.
Batting for the Vikings, catcher number 7, Brandon Sidemeyer.
So the 9-hitter Sidemeyer will stride to the plate with an opportunity to get Grayson back into this ball game. They trail 3-0. Apache's able to score 3 in their half of the 1st inning. Grayson Linscomb, a 2-run single, and Dalton Wilson, an infield single that drove in the 3rd run. So Sidemeyer at the plate. First pitch, swinging and fouling off to the right side, well out of this ballpark, but foul. Carter Field, part of the Rose City complex. At 4 major facilities here. The Rose Garden's off to our left on the 3rd base side. The football stadium is off to our right on the 1st base side. And the convention center back behind us, behind home plate. 0-1 pitch is in there. It's 0-2. So Davenport now 1 strike away from getting the Apaches in the dugout without giving up any runs. And you got to just wonder. One of the things we talked about on the pregame show with Coach Doe is trying to make sure everyone gets out of this game healthy. And Will came out. I don't know if there was a health issue or not, but hopefully not. And Eli, when he got to the mound, had a couple of words with Will Patterson and immediately told the umpire we're going to the bullpen. So maybe they're just being a little cautious there, but hopefully so. As Will Patterson goes 1 2/3 innings today. 1-2 count with 2 outs. Davenport the kick and the pitch way outside. Fuentes, nice job of sliding over and preventing the runners from moving up. So now it's Deuces Wild on the board. Womack at first, Paxton at second. Brandon Sidemeyer, the catcher, at the plate. Here's the 2-2. And he yanked it again, and you throw it down behind the runner at second, and not going to get him there. So it's going to be a full count. Now you're going to have the runners on the move here as Davenport uses a little rosin to dry off his hand. I don't know if it's rosin or that does look like a rosin bag. Full count, 2 outs. Davenport, the payoff. And, boy, yanked it again. And he's really pulling across his body there. 4 walks in the inning.
Now batting number 11, Sloan Barrett.
For the Apache pitchers. Bases loaded with Grayson Vikings. Boy, that caught stealing comes up big right here, right? You don't have that. You just walked a run in. Now it's the leadoff hitter, Sloan Barrett, for the second time. Sloan Barrett, 347 on the season for the Vikings. 17 doubles. And that leads the club. 2 triples, 5 homers, 37 driven in. Nice year for the young man. Second baseman. Takes inside, ball 1. Well, got to have strikes here. Grayson threatening in the second. The Apaches scored 3 in the first. And the Apaches were able to get a big 2-out hit from Grayson Linscomb. And Sloan Barrett, a little pop-up, center field, tough play. Who's going to get there? Now you come in and make the play. Nicely done by Dalton Wilson. And so it's no runs. F8 if you're scoring at the house. No runs on no hits. You leave them loaded. We're going to the bottom of the second. Apaches lead by 3. Back in a minute. Well, let's see if we can make some sense of this conference race in Region 14 North. Bossier 17-11. They play Angelina, and they'll start in about 30 minutes. They have clinched the first place spot in the conference. So no matter what happens with their games today, they've got the tiebreaker over Paris 3-2. They've got the tiebreaker over Northeast 4-1. And they've got the tiebreaker over the Apaches 3-2. So no matter what Bossier does today, they are in, and they are in as the number 1 seed. They will host playoffs next weekend. Tyler in second place, 17-3. They got the bye week. And the Apaches lost their season series to Bossier. They lost their season series to Paris. And they won their season series against Northeast. And so if they were to tie with the Eagles, they would be ahead of the Eagles. But if they tie with Paris, then Paris would get the nod. So depends on how Paris does today. Paris is right behind the Apaches at 15-13. They're at Panola today. That game has already started. That doubleheader has started already. And the Dragons, they have the 3-2 season series over Tyler. They lost the season series to Northeast, and they have the season series so far over Panola 2-1. So Paris sitting pretty good here. They're going to have to take care of business on the road in Carthage against the Panola Ponies. In fourth place, Northeast Texas, 15-13 as well. They're at Navarro. They've started already in Corsicana. And we'll get back to live action here. First pitch is in there. Strike 1 for the Apaches. 8-9-1. Nico Ruedis at the plate. And boy, you could smell the popcorn. It's an official baseball game. The 0-1. Breaking ball, he hung it, and Ruedis popped it up. And Barrett Sloan at second will squeeze that one for out number 1. So Ruedis, a leadoff out, a pop-up to Sloan Barrett. Now it's the 9-hitter, Gabe Flores, the first baseman. Grady Moore still on the mound. First pitch misses, ball 1. Flores, 6'1", 205, a sophomore from Longview High School in Longview, Texas. He's a transfer from the University of Houston. 1-0. Right over the heart of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Eagles are tied with Paris at 15-13. Are at Navarro. And they have the season series over Paris. So if they finish tied with Paris, they would finish ahead of Paris. But they have lost the season series to the Apaches. So it's a tangled web, I'm telling you. It's kind of hard to sort out until all the games are played. But we'll keep an eye on the scoreboard here. And see how the other teams do. Strike 3 called. And Flores is going to argue that. But Mr. Umpire is going to have the opinion that matters. That'll be the first strikeout recorded by Grady Moore. Strikeout number 37 on the season. He came in with good numbers. In 33 and a third innings, he had struck out 36 batters, more than one an inning. Back to the top you go, Preston Newberry. Newberry 325 on the year for the Apaches. First pitch swinging in the left center gap. Got a chance, and that ball's off the fence or off the pole. Newberry hits second. He's going to go to third. Here's the throw, and they're not going to get him. Stand-up triple for Preston Newberry with 2 outs. Well, that ball glanced off the pole and took an awkward angle, and it allowed Newberry to get to third standing up. We got light poles in the gaps. Very unique feature, and that ball hit it. Now here's Josiah Mackey going to bat for Chase Fuentes. So Josiah Mackey will get his first plate appearance of the day, and my assumption would be he would take over behind the plate for Fuentes. First pitch to Josiah, swung on, fouled straight back, strike one. Well, I'm going to guess that Josiah hasn't gotten a haircut all year. Is that a fair guess? High fly ball. And easy play in center for Senega, and that's your third out. So F8 if you're scoring at the house. The Apaches get a 2-out triple from Newberry. He's stranded at third. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We're through 2 complete here at Mike Carter Field on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Glad you're with us. Last regular season game of the season will be our last broadcast, more than likely, as there's other entities that do the broadcast during the playoffs, but probably a pretty good chance this will be our last game to do for you. Glad you're with us. If you got a chance, shoot an email my way. I'd love to hear from you. The email's on the front of the screen. Apaches lead 3-0. We're going to the top of inning number 3. All right, we have heard from Mariana Bonetti. Thanks for shooting us a note. She's watching from Falmouth, Maine. Boy, I wonder what the weather's like in Maine today. Beautiful day here in Tyler. We're going to get in the low 70s. That's actually a little bit probably below our normal here. But thanks for checking in, Mariana. Hope you're enjoying the game from Falmouth, Maine. Rooting for the Apaches. Her nephew's on the team. So thanks for checking in. Love to hear from where you're watching from, who you're rooting for, maybe what kind of day it is for you on a Saturday afternoon. For the Grayson Vikings, 2, 3, and 4, this is JT Senega, the center fielder. First pitch swing and fouls it straight back off to the left, and boy, look out. Yeah, it's a little too close for for comfort. The Avalon is over in that vicinity. I think it got over, so I think we're good. No balls and a strike. Dylan Davenport back on the mound for the Apaches. That ball's hit to center field. Should be playable out there for Wilson. He's right on the front of the warning track, and he'll make the grab for out number 1. So here's the 3-hitter, Nick Sanders, stepping in for Grayson. Sanders, nice year, 374 for the Vikings. He's got 10 doubles, a triple, 12 homers, and 34 driven in for the Viking left fielder. First time up, Sanders drew a walk. He's got the big leg kick, fouls it off to the right side and just into the net. Good effort over there by Flores. And he came running into that net and almost made a grab, but it hit the net just before he could get there. No balls and 1 strike. Dugouts are very close to home plate here at Mike Carter Field, so you really got to be heads up over there. Another pop fly out of play off to the right side. That's probably in the it's a parking lot ball. Didn't get into the Fireman's Training Center. We have a Fireman's Training Center right next to Mike Carter Field. And the firemen come over here and set things on fire and put them out. They got a little tower there. They got a bunch of wrecked cars. And we certainly appreciate them training on our behalf so that when things do happen, they're ready. Boy, he kind of Tommy-hawked it. And Linscomb at third makes a play and throws off the bag. That'll be an E5. Grayson Linscomb caught that ball and had plenty of time, might have rushed that throw a little bit, and his throw pulled Flores off first base. So Sanders aboard on the error, and now it's the first baseman for the Vikings, Austin Godwin. And, boy, he's having a nice year. Talked about him earlier, leading the club 392. First pitch swing in left field, and this will be held up for Reisenhuber to make the grab. 2 outs. So you got 2 outs, Sanders at first, and this 5-hitter, Brandon Creek. Brandon Creek, 327 on the year. 7 doubles, 4 homers, 32 driven in. And Sanders. If you're wondering about Nick Sanders over at first base like I am, he's 2 for 2 in stolen bases, so probably not a huge candidate to run here. The 1-0. Ground ball foul, and look out. The assistant coach over there. I don't know if that's Ty Hansen or Connor Flanagan. He steps out of the way. I think it might be Ty Hansen over there. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Nick Sanders at first. There's a little looper into right field. That'll fall in. 2 on now for Grayson with 2 outs in the third. And that breaks up the no-hitter. Kind of got jammed. Brandon Creek did not barrel that ball up, but he got it over the head of Zavala into short right field. Here's the 6-hitter, Andrew Schultz, the DH. Andrew Schultz on the year, a 200 hitter, limited action. He's 1 for 5. Just his second start of the season for the Vikings. First pitch in there, strike 1. 3-0 Apaches, top of the third. The Vikings have had a lot of traffic in the first 2 innings. They've left 4 guys on base. A couple of them were in scoring position. They left them loaded in the second. Popped out of play left side, and boy, that north wind is going to blow some of those foul balls back toward the Avalon. That's into the parking lot. No balls, 2 strikes on Andrew Schultz. Dylan Davenport trying to get the Apaches off the field. The pitch. Well off the plate, 1-2. Mackey is behind the plate now for the Apaches, so he did pinch hit for Fuentes, and he hopped in there at catcher. And Coach Doe told us we're going to have a lot of changes today, so I'm going to keep me and Preston on our P's and Q's up here. Look out. A little chin music there. 2-2. Preston Caldwell, our Associate Athletic Director. PA announcer extraordinaire. Much of the staff over at the National Women's Tennis Tournament today started today on the TJC campus. About 28 schools from all over the country playing for a national title at the Murphy Tennis Center. You got a chance to get over there and watch some really good college tennis. And the Apaches will be in the mix for sure. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3-0 Tyler. Runners will be moving with this pitch. Creek at first, Sanders at second. Davenport the set and the payoff. Fly ball left center could be trouble. Let's see if anyone can get there. And sliding and making the catch is Levi Reisenhuber. Boy, put a star by that one. F7. And Reisenhuber saves probably a 2-run double right there. And the shutout is preserved. Vikings get no runs on 1 hit. They leave 2 guys on. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. The Apaches 3, Vikings 0. Back in a minute. All right, we've gotten news that the Apache softballers fell to the Galveston Whitecaps in softball today. The regional tournament for women's softball started today over in Bossier. And the Apaches drew a really tough pitcher, .6 ERA from Galveston, and they fall 5-1 in their first game. So they'll play game 2 for survival tomorrow. And our best wishes to Eric Henderson and the Lady Apache softballers. They're going to have to win 4 in a row now to get out of that regional. Michael Roberts steps in to lead off the 3rd inning. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Grady Moore still on the mound for the Vikings. And for Moore, that was pitch number 37. Likes to work from the set position. 0-1 pitch fouled off to the right side. 0-2. Well, this is, I don't know, it's been a long time since you've seen a situation where both these clubs are in the exact same position. They're both going to go to playoffs. They both don't know who they're playing. And, boy, big swing right there. That's a chase for Roberts. Strikeout. And that's second strikeout for Grady Moore. And Micah Roberts just really chased one out of the zone there. 1 up, 1 down. Now it's Zach Zavala. Flew out to center his first time up. So Zach 0 for 1 today. Zavala comes into today's game 303 on the year, 9 doubles, a triple, 4 homers, and 25 driven in. First pitch is in there, strike 1. 3-4-1 for Tyler, 0-1-0 for Grayson. We play on here in the bottom of the 3rd. More of the pitch. In there, and it's 0-2. Both pitchers settling in now. Davenport for the Apaches and Grady Moore for the Vikings. Throwing a lot of strikes. We'll take a peek at the scoreboard between innings, see if anything else is posted. And, boy, just off the plate. Pretty good spot there. Called a ball. And let's see here. Region 14, by the way, just so you know, they've got a website. And some of these schools are doing live stats like we are. And as that pitch is fouled straight back. I'm going to refresh this. And let's see here. Panola jumping all over Paris right now, 4-0 in the 3rd inning. Popped it up, and it's going to get out of play right over top of us. And must have got over our heads. Sometimes when it hits on top of this home plate area, you'll hear it. Home plate area is covered here at Mike Carter Field. They got Chairback bleachers behind both dugouts. And huge bleachers down the outfield side. Beautiful stadium atmosphere for these guys to play in. The ballpark seats 4,000 people. And it's an old minor league ballpark that's been renovated a couple of times. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Zach Zavala. And that ball's well short of the plate. And it's a full count. Grady Moore continues to throw for the Vikings. They do have a right-hander thrown in the bullpen, so might be Moore's last inning here. Here's the payoff. Strike 3 called inside corner, and there's 2 outs. He struck out both batters in this inning. That's 3 strikeouts in the game for Grady Moore. Here's the 5-hitter, Levi Reisenhoover. And Reisenhoover, 325 on the season, 6 doubles, a triple, 5 homers, 18 driven in. He had the big 2-run homer to give the Apaches a 6-4 win on Thursday afternoon against these Vikings. In the opening ball game, Vikings would turn around and win 2-0 in the nightcap. Would get a 2-out rally in the 5th inning, and that was it. Both teams combined for 6 hits in that game. Tyler 0-3-0, Grayson 2-3-1. That was the line score for the nightcap on Thursday. Boy, good change up there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Levi Reisenhoover. The opening ball game, Apaches 6 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Grayson 4-9-2. And again, the Apaches were able to scratch for runs late in that game to tie as Reisenhoover fouls it back. They got a wild pitch that they scored 2 runs on that would send that game to extra innings, and then Reisenhoover got the 2-run home run in the top of the 8th. And that would be the difference, 6-4 final in game 1. So whoever wins this game will win the series between these 2 clubs. Here's the 1-2. Boy, he went down and got a low breaking pitch, and running over to make the catch is J.T. Senega. Put a star by that one. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. Grady Moore, a perfect 3rd inning. We're through 3 complete here at Mike Carter. It's 3-0 Apaches. All right, let's look at the scoreboard here and look around Region 14. Of course, here in Mike Carter Field, the Apaches 3-0 lead as we go to the 4th inning. Paris is at Panola, and Panola winning 4-0, top of the 3rd there. Northeast Texas has got a 2-0 lead over Navarro in the bottom of the 3rd. So everyone just kind of moving at pretty much the same pace. We're not going to probably get a score from Angelina Bossier. Neither of those teams keep the live stats. So, and I'm not seeing anything else from the South Zone, which is kind of interesting. In last night's play, Alvin defeated Blinn 11-3 in the first game. Looks like a second game was not posted, so it's possible that one got rained out. Sanjak 14-6 winners over Coastal, and Wharton defeated Galveston 3-2. And then in game 2, they would sweep the doubleheader 7-6 in game 2. Sanjak would beat Coastal in a close one 7-6 in 9 innings. So Sanjak swept the doubleheader yesterday from Coastal. Alvin took one from Blinn, and Wharton got one from Galveston. So again, what goes on there will dictate who plays who and where. And again, going into this weekend, right now Blinn would be the number 1 seed. Sanjak 2, Wharton 3, Alvin 4. So if we stayed where we are right now, the Apaches would go to Bossier and play Sanjak and Alvin in a 4-team or 4-team double elimination. And Bossier and Paris would host. I think I said that wrong. We'll get back to that in a minute. Lots going on today. As coming to the plate is the right fielder Easton Paxton. First pitch in there, strike 1. This is Dylan Davenport back on the mound for the Apaches. Grady Moore now 51 pitches. He might have thrown his last one. We'll see just how far Coach Hernandez wants to go. Dylan Davenport. Next pitch is going to miss. Dylan Davenport started the inning with 21 pitches. We're in the top of the fourth. High pop-up, playable here. And Wilson in center field. And is that Troy? Is that Dalton out there? All right, so I know we're going to make some changes, but Wilson's still out there. F8 if you're scoring at the house. One up, one down. And here's the 8-hitter, Chase Womack, for the second time. Paxton walked his first time up, so he's 0 for 1 now. Now it's Womack. He walked his first time up. Womack, 342 on the year for the Vikings. Steps in from the left side. First pitch is inside for ball 1. 342, 10 doubles, no triples, 8 home runs, 42 driven in. Womack having a really nice year. Very productive. Talked on the pregame. That ball's hammered into the right field corner, and that's trouble, and that ball is out of here. That north wind got behind that. It cleared the fence by a couple of feet. Home run number 9 for Chase Womack, and the Vikings are on the board.
Batting for the Vikings, catcher number 7, Brandon Sidemeyer.
So 9th homer of the year for Womack, and RBI number 43 of the year. And with 1 out, that'll bring up the 9-hitter catcher Brandon Sidemeyer. Sidemeyer, 277 hitter on the season, 4 doubles, 3 homers, 19 driven in. First pitch swing and goes the other way to right field. And Newberry back makes the over-the-shoulder catch for out number 2. So Sidemeyer first pitch swinging. And now it's the leadoff hitter for the 3rd time, Sloan Barrett. Took a 3rd strike in the 1st inning, flew out to center field in the 2nd inning. Barrett 0 for 2 today. 347 on the year. His 17 doubles leads the club. Couple of triples and 5 homers, 37 driven in. First pitch just off the plate, ball 1. We're in the top of the 4th inning. The Vikings just got on the board with a solo homer by Chase Womack. Got it up in the air and probably would have been extra bases on a normal day. Not sure it would have got out of here. Newberry went back and probably cleared the fence by, 3 or 4 feet maybe. The 1-1 pitch popped up left side. This should be playable here. Ruedis going back into shallow left, and he'll make the grab for the final out. That'll go F6 if you're scoring at the house. But the Vikings get on the board. Chase Womack, home run number 9 of the year. Got a new scorer at Mike Carter. Tyler 3, Grayson 1. All right, Grayson has gone to their bullpen for the first time today. Kai Parker, the new pitcher, so you can close the book on Grady Moore. Moore ends up going 3 complete innings, 51 pitches. He struck out 3 Apaches, and he would end up walking 1. The new pitcher's Kai Parker, 6 foot 200, a right-handed freshman from Montgomery, Texas. And Kai Parker, 2-2 on the year with a 3.96 ERA. His 12th appearance of the year. He has started 8 games, 38 and 2/3 innings, 48 strikeouts, 22 walks. A freshman from Montgomery, Texas, Kai Parker. So he's one of their starters. He's going to get some work here. We heard from both coaches that they're going to get guys in and out. We've already seen some changes in the Apache lineup. Mackey has come in to catch already, and both teams have used 1 relief pitcher. First pitch off the plate, ball 1. This is Grayson Lincecum. He's got the big hit of the day for the Apaches, a 2-run single in that first inning. 1-0 pitch off the plate, 2-0. We'll try to keep an eye on things as the day progresses. The good news for the Apaches is that they're in the playoffs. Boy, if you looked at it about 2 weeks ago, it didn't look so good. And, boy, you finish with 8 in a row, and you get launched right into the playoff picture. And you're playing your best baseball this season when it matters most. So, really good sign for this Apache club. And they'll go somewhere. They'll either go down south to either Blinn or Sanjak or over to Bossier. 3-1. Little looping fly ball to center. Senega initially took a step back and then comes in to make the running catch. That's what you teach your outfielders, by the way. As soon as that ball's hit in the air, you take a step back. And his read was a good one. He came running in to make the catch. Here's Dalton Wilson, infield single in the hole at short his last time up. Drove a run in. And on that play, Lincecum would try to score, and he'd be thrown out by the shortstop. But Dalton Wilson 1 for 1 with a run driven in today. First pitch outside corner. Mr. Umpire going well off the plate today for both teams. Pace of play is excellent, by the way. Press box will not complain. On a day like today, you go back to the dugout and you tell your teammates, hey, he's calling it 1 or 2 balls off the plate. You better scoot up a little bit and expect to go get that outside pitch. And I really don't mind that as long as he stays there, right? You know, if I'm a pitcher, I'm going to live out there. That ball's hammered right field, and Paxton was played perfectly. And there's 2 outs. Wilson, a well-hit ball right at Easton Paxton. Now it's time for the 8-hitter. Nico Ruedis, the shortstop, popped up to second his first time up. 0 for 1 for Nico. Ruedis, 236 average on the year for the Apaches. First pitch in there, strike 1. 4 doubles, 4 home runs, 14 RBI for Nico. A 1 pitch, had a notion but held up. 1-1. Grayson wearing their navy blue tops with the white Grayson across the chest, gray pants with the blue piping down the side. You got the traditional big, almost a Green Bay Packer-like G in the front of the ball cap. And the Apaches got their gold tops, white pants with the black and gold stripes down the side. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Wearing the all black ball caps today. The Apache logo up front. Well, we got some royalty in the ballpark. Denny Yarborough is here. Just off the plate, boy. It might have been a little bit low. 3-2. Long-time Apache fan and registrar worker. Swing and a miss. Oh, just got a piece of it. He'll stay alive. Thought it was strike 3. I know that a colleague of mine, Mr. Rolly Schick, longtime faculty member, was going to try to get out today. Last home game for the Apaches this year. Boy, he kind of reached out for it. 1 hopper to Creek at short, and he'll throw it across. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4th inning for Kai Parker. Nicely done there. We're through 4 complete here at Mike Carter Field. A beautiful day here in East Texas. And the Apaches lead 3-1. Back in just a minute. Two, 3, and 4 for Grayson. And first pitch from Colton Eichner is a ball. Got a new pitcher for the Apaches, so Eichner will come in and relieve Dylan Davenport. This is JT Senega. Ground ball to short, fly ball to center. He's 0 for 2. So Colton Eichner. Sophomore, 6'3", 215. Next pitch is off the plate. 3-0. Eichner out of White House. That's just about 10 minutes from Tyler. And that's going to come up short. And let's see, we are in the top of the 5th, so we're moving right along in this ballgame. Leadoff walk to Senega. That'll be Eichner's first walk for the Apache pitchers unofficially. That's 6 walks in this game. Here's the 3-hitter, Nick Sanders. Sanders drew one of those walks in the first inning and reached on an error. First pitch thrown down and called a strike, and it's a stolen base for Senega. And I think it was a strike, so it's 0-1. Well, if this is right, this is Eichner's first appearance of the year. Is that right? Okay. No stats for Colton. Last regular season home game for the Apaches here at Mike Carter. And will be on the road for the playoffs. One ball, one strike. Nobody out, runner at second, the pitch. And Mackey blocks it, throw to third. And, boy, good job by Grayson Linscomb just to catch that ball. That'll be a wild pitch. And quickly over to third is the center fielder, JT Senega. Next pitch, look out. That's back behind the hitter. I'm trying to see on the Grayson stats. There it is. Okay, Senega on the year. That was stolen base number 11 of the year. So he's 11 for 13. Next pitch, just missed inside. And it's another walk. Second walk issued by Eichner. That's 7 walks for Apache pitchers. Runners at first and third. Nobody out. And here comes Coach Doe. And we'll see if this is going to be it. I think this might be it for Eichner. So we're going to have a new pitcher for the Apaches. We'll let you know who it is when we return. All right, the new pitcher is Roman Tolbert, and he was greeted by Austin Godwin. Base hit to right. It's a one-run game, 3-2. Godwin, good piece of hit and took a good pitch the other way, scoring Senega. Sanders hustled to third, so you got runners on the corners now, still nobody out. Here's the 5-hitter, Brandon Creek. Way off the plate. Ball 1. Tyler 3-4-1. Grayson 2-3-0. We're playing on here. Top of the 5th. Non-conference game for both these clubs. They're both in the playoffs. Swing and a miss. 1-1. And both will not know where they go. Both teams are in second place, by the way, as we enter play today. So we'll just both of them are going to just have to look at the scoreboard when the day is over and look at the standings and decide, okay, here's where we go. Now, the Region 5 conference, I was talking on the pregame interview, if you heard that, Coach Hernandez said that the way they do it, 1 and 2 will host in both the North and the West. And so they will host next weekend, and they think they're going to host New Mexico. That pitch is going to miss inside. 3-1 now on Brandon Creek. Roman Tolbert, 6'5", 230, a right-handed sophomore out of Houghton, Louisiana. And for Tolbert, it's outing number 11 of the year, all out of the bullpen, swing and a miss, 3-2. Roman is 2-1 with a 9.82 ERA. Again, his 11th appearance, all out of the bullpen, 11 innings. He's got 12 strikeouts and 11 walks. A sophomore from Houghton, Louisiana, Roman Tolbert. Payoff pitch fouled off. We'll do it again. So what they do in the West is 1 and 2 will host, 3 and 4 from the other conference. And so being the 2 seed right now, Grayson will host what they think is New Mexico, and today's games will dictate who actually comes their way. Next pitch, off the plate, ball 4. Boy, walks have been a little bit of a bugaboo here. That's 8 in the game for TJC. That's the first walk by Roman Tolbert. Bases full of Vikings. Andrew Schultz. Schultz has struck out swinging and flown out to left on a really good play by Levi Reisenhover. Bases loaded. Tolbert the set and the pitch. Just missed inside, ball 1. So Weatherford is in first right now in the North Texas Junior College Athletic Conference. They will host as well. And I'll see if I can pull up the standings for that region. So 4, 1 and 2. We'll get to that in a moment here. 2-0 pitch, fly ball left field. Reisenhover going back toward the wall and catches it right on the warning track. This will score a run, and we're tied at 3. Long fly ball by Andrew Schultz takes Reisenhover to the warning track, and it's a sac fly. Godwin went to third base. Scoring was Sanders. Brandon Creek went halfway, and he's back at first base. So runners in the corners with 1 out. Here's the 7-hitter, Easton Paxton. First pitch is low to Paxton, ball 1. Paxton has walked and flown out to center field, so officially 0 for 1 today. So right now, Odessa's in first and Midland in second, so they would host 3 and 4 from the western zone, or I guess the northern zone, as they call it in the West. And then it would be New Mexico and Howard that would travel to Weatherford and Grayson. So they play 2 out of 3 in the first round, then they play a 4-team double elimination in the second round. And he said, I think this year it's going to be in the West. So whoever the higher seed left in the West will host that 4-team double. So a little different. A lot of conferences do it different. There goes the runner. Ground ball to short, backhanded by Ruedas. He'll throw across and get the out. But the run comes home, and Grayson has now leading 4-3. Nice play by Ruedas. It's an RBI for Paxton. And so now you got runner at second with 2 outs. Here's the 8-hitter, Chase Womack. And all he did was take one out of here his last time up. He's 1 for 1 with a home run, his 9th of the year. Brandon Creek out at second base. First pitch is low. Ball 1. So lots of ways to skin a cat when it comes to the playoffs. And so Weatherford and Grayson would host right now New Mexico and Howard. Next pitch is in there. It's 1-1. And Odessa and Midland would host McLennan and Cisco. All those would be best 2 out of 3. The 4 winners would meet at the highest team from the West that was left after those playoffs were completed. So still a lot to determine, and everybody's playing their last regular season games today. And it just so happened that ball went behind the hitter, and Mackey goes behind Womack to make the grab. And it's 2-1. Roman Tolbert came in relief of Colton Eichner in this inning. And he still hasn't found his rhythm. 3 balls and a strike. For Tolbert, it's been hit single to right, walk, sac fly to left, ground ball to short. And now a 3-1 count on the 8-hitter, Chase Womack. The pitch. And there's ball 4. Well, second walk issued by Tolbert. That's 9 walks in the first 4 2/3 for Tyler pitching. And boy, you're going to have to clean that up.
Number 7, Brandon Sidemeyer.
Here's the 9-hitter, Brandon Sidemeyer, the catcher. Sidemeyer drew a walk in the second inning, flew out to right field in the 4th. And here comes Eli Egger. Going to have a quick visit with Roman Tolbert. That's as quick as I've seen him go out there all year. Pretty good hop in his step there. This will be our last broadcast for the 2025 season. I've enjoyed bringing these games to you. And I said in the pregame show to Coach Doe, appreciate he and Coach Egger giving me their pregame time. Appreciate all the feedback we've gotten all year on the emails. If you got a chance today, give us a quick shout out. We'll let everyone know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. As the Apaches and the Vikings play in a last regular season ball game, non-conference for both teams. Here's Brandon Sidemeyer. First pitch is going to miss outside, ball 1. Grayson leads now, 4 runs on 3 hits. The Apaches 3 runs on 4 hits as we play in the top of the 5th inning. High fly ball, playable here. Who's going to get it? It looks like Reisenhoover is going to call off Ruedis, and he does. And there's your inning. Grayson brings 8 batters to the plate, and they will put 3 runs on the board, and they now lead it by a score of 4-3. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th for the Apaches. It'll be 9-1-2. Flores, Newberry, and Josiah Mackey. Back in just a minute. Micah Roberts will lead it off for the Apaches. Wait, that's not right. This is Gabe Flores. Gabe Flores leading off, 9-1-2. Flores took a 3rd strike his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. Next pitch fouled off. And let's see here. Gabe Flores, 188 hitter on the year, 3 doubles, a homer, 13 driven in. Next pitch. Called a strike. Boy, there's one of those balls that's about two and a half balls off the outside corner. Called a strike. I think we're 1-2 here. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. So strikeout for Kai Parker. That'll be Parker's first strikeout of the game. That's 4 punch-outs for Grayson pitching. Now back to the top. We got a pinch hitter. James Rasek will hit for Preston Newberry. So Newberry's day is complete. He ends up going 1 for 2. He got a triple his last time up. So now it's James Rasek. We're going to see the substitutions flow here, I think, for the rest of this game for both clubs. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Rasek, 317 on the year for the Apaches. 6 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers, and 17 RBI. The 1-1 off the plate. Grayson, a 3-run 5th inning, has given them the lead. That's well off the plate. And there's a walk issued to the pinch hitter, Rasek. So he'll take his base. And that'll be the first walk issued by Kai Parker. And let's see here. I guess it's just 2 walks now for Grayson pitching. Here's Josiah Mackey for the second time. Flew out to center his first time up. Starting catcher was Chase Fuentes, and he went 1 for 1 today. Mackey took over, and this will be Mackey's second plate appearance. I would think we would see Finn Kayala before this game was over, as Coach Doe trying to keep everyone healthy, but also give them maybe an at-bat or two, as the next time these two clubs will play real baseball, it'll be playoff time. You can kind of do some pitcher, catcher, hitter, inter-squad type things this week, but throw down to second on the throw, and safe. Rasek steals second base. And for James Rasek, that'll be stolen base number 8 of the year. And unofficially, he's 8 for 8. Yeah. 3-0 count to Mackey, the pitch. Big hack right there. It's 3-1. Kai Parker, right-handed freshman from Montgomery, Texas, on the mound for the Vikings. Came on in the 4th inning. We're in the 5th, his second inning of work. Next pitch. Little pop-up right field. That's going to travel, and Paxton into the gap. Can't get there. That ball carried. And Mackey into second. Runner will be sent home. Here comes the throw. Not in time. We're tied at 4. RBI double for Josiah Mackey. That ball just kept going. I thought it was going to be caught, and boy, it got up into the wind, and it kept going. And Paxton reached up at the last minute, could not get it. And so Rasek scores pretty easily. Mackey into second, and now another hitter we got here. Is this Clayton Brandon?
Yes.
All right, so Clayton Brandon is the pinch hitter. He's hitting for Micah Roberts. So Micah Roberts' day is over. That ball's fouled off. That's headed over toward the Rose Garden. Quickly 0-2 on Clayton Brandon. So Micah Roberts, a walk and a strikeout, ends up 0 for 1 today. We're at the 3 spot in the Tyler lineup. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. A little tardy on the fastball. Second strikeout by Parker. And that's 5 strikeouts for Grayson pitching. Lathan Van Alsdahl will step in as a pinch hitter here for Zach Zavala. So Zavala's day is done. He has flown out. Zavala flies out to center and strikes out 0 for 2 for Zach. First pitch swinging by Van Alstel, straightaway center, right toward the wall, and boy, making the catch at the last moment, J.T. Senega. As Van Alstel put a charge in that one, and Senega at the last minute puts the glove up and makes the catch. The Apaches get 1 run on 1 hit. You leave 1 guy on base. We got a new score. After 5 complete, we're all square, 4-4. Top of the lineup for the Vikings. Sloan Barrett leads it off, and Barrett 0 for 3 today, a strikeout looking, a couple of fly balls, 1 to center, 1 to short. New pitcher for the Apaches is Jake White. First pitch swinging, held off to the first base side, strike 1. Jake White, 6'3", 215. Left-handed sophomore from Forney. Next pitch is in there for a strike. Forney High School product. Top of the 6th. So he'll take over for Roman Tolbert. You can close the book on Tolbert. He ends up throwing 22 pitches today. Pop up left side. And the new shortstop is Sawyer Dunnigan. He's under it, makes the catch. 1 out. So you have a defensive change. What you've done is you've taken Ruedas and moved him to third base. And you put Sawyer Dunnigan in the 9 hole for Gabe Flores. As Lincecum moves from third to first. He's still in the game. And so that was F6, and we got a new hitter. Is that right? Fouled straight back, strike 1. The new batter is Brooks Dwinell. And he'll take over for Senega in the 2 spot. Dwinell, a freshman, 6'3", 210 from Aledo, Texas. So, as we noted, we'll have to keep an eye to the on-deck area to see if we've got more pinch hitters to come. 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike. 17 is batting next. That's a new hitter. That's Boston Lee. So it appears as though Lee will hit for Nick Sanders. That ball's squibbed to the first base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody aboard. We are tied at 4. Top of the 6th inning, we're playing a 9. This game really doesn't matter to either club in terms of outcome. You want to get everybody a little bit of playing time, as it'll be the last regular season ball game before playoffs next weekend for both teams. Off the plate. And the goal is to get through this healthy. Both teams in the number 2 spot in their conferences as we start play today. We won't know before we end because everyone else is playing doubleheaders. A little squibber, and boy, Jake White makes a play. Safe. Boy, bang, bang play at first base. Not sure I advise that type of throw. That's a shoulder injury waiting to happen right there. His body's going way toward the third base dugout, and he tries to throw back to first.
For the Vikings,
and that'll be an infield single for Dwinell. 1B1. And now it's Boston Lee for the first time today. So he'll take over for Nick Sanders. Off the end of the bat, strike 1. Boston Lee, 6'4", 210. He's from Alvin, Texas. Yeah, both coaches kind of trying to make sure that as many guys get some live looks today as possible. I mean, inter-squad, you can do that this week, and both teams will probably do some inter-squadding so that their hitters can see some live pitching. But, boy, there's nothing like the game uniforms and a real game and the energy that comes with that. 2 balls and a strike to Boston Lee. Well, we've heard from Miss Bruning. Tyler Chapman's grandma, Tracy Bruning, checking in. Thanks for from Port Lavaca, Texas. So appreciate the email. We've enjoyed bringing these games to you all spring. There goes the runner. Fouled straight back. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on the pinch hitter, Boston Lee. Thanks for checking in, Miss Bruning. And Mr. Baker, Chris Baker, checking in from Jacksboro, Texas. So, sure do appreciate hearing from you guys. It's good to know that the pictures, that's a wild pitch that's going to get away from Mackey, and down to second goes Dwinell. Ball was low. Mackey went down to the crouch to block it and scooted away from him. So it's a full count. Boston Lee hitting in the 3 spot for Nick Sanders. And Brooks Dwinell at second. Here's the payoff. Way off the plate, ball 4. So that'll be the first walk issued by the new pitcher, Jake White. And, boy, for Apache pitching, that's 10 walks. And, boy, if you walk 10 and only give up 4 runs, that's not bad. Here's Austin Godwin, 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI and a run scored for Godwin. White the set and the pitch. A pretty good spot. Pops out of Mackey's glove, ball 1. Well, thanks for checking in, Mr. Baker. And all of you who have checked in all spring. Mr. Baker is Brady's dad, fouled straight back. Got a nice crowd that was kind of late arriving today. Got an absolutely gorgeous day here in Tyler. As we had low humidity this morning. It was actually in the 50s this morning. Took our dog on a walk. And let's see where we're at now. 71 right now, so just a couple of degrees from first pitch. We were at 69 when we started this game. The pitch misses high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Cleanup hitter Austin Godwin. Trying to get his second hit of the day. Grayson, 2 on, 1 out. We're tied at 4, top of 6. Jake White the set, deep breath, the kick, the pitch. In there for a strike. 2-2. Well, Weatherford is ahead in first place. Just 1 game of this Grayson club in the North Texas Junior College Athletic Conference. McLennan right behind Grayson. Boy, he reached out and just flared it into center. That'll drop in. Runner will be sent home. And ball got by the fielder. And it'll be an RBI single for Austin Godwin, his second RBI of the day, his second hit of the day.
Shortstop number 16, Brandon Creek.
As Boston Lee goes to third base and Brooks Dwinell scores 5-4 Grayson. And Brandon Creek stepping in there. Brandon Creek is 1 for 1 with 2 walks. He's been on base all 3 times. White, the set, the pitch, missed inside, ball 1. 5-5-0 for Grayson, 4-5-1 for Tyler. It's been a back and forth game, and now it's Grayson by a run. That ball's drilled into the left field corner. That'll score another run, and you're going to try to get the runner at second, and it's not in time. It's an RBI double for Brandon Creek. And it'll be an RBI for Creek, his second hit, so he's 2 for 2 today. Godwin will stay at third base, and Lee will score easily. 2 runs are in, and it's a 6-4 game. Now it's Andrew Schultz scheduled to hit, and it's not Schultz, it's number 12. And let's see who number 12 is. It's Carson Garrett, the hitter. First pitch to Garrett is in there. So Garrett will hit for Schultz here in the 6th inning, as both coaches kind of unloading their reserve players, or guys that didn't start, I guess is the best way to say it. Swing and a miss, it's 0-2. Well, Paxton is supposed to hit next. We'll see if looks like he's swinging a bat, so. Swing and a miss, got him. And that'll be a strikeout for Jake White, his first of the outing. And let's see, unofficially, boy, it's been a while since the Apaches have had a strikeout. Maybe 3 in the game. 2 outs in the inning. Easton Paxton steps in. First pitch to Paxton is high, ball 1. Paxton 0 for 2. He hit a ground ball to short and got an RBI his last time up. Flew out to center, and he drew a walk back in the 2nd inning. The 1-0. Called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs and 2 on. Grayson, a 2-run lead. They've scored 2 more here in the 6th. They've got 2 in scoring position right now. And, boy, a base hit here would really extend the lead. The 1-1. Just a bit high. 2 balls and a strike. Well, appreciate the emails. Haven't checked in, check in. We'll give you a shout out. Next pitch is in there. 2-2. Deuce is wild on the board. Ben Langley checking in from Fort Worth. The grandparent, Chris Langley's grandparents from Fort Worth. Boy, pretty good spot. Called a ball. And pretty good pitch. And Mr. Umpire did not call it. So it's a full count. You do have a base open here. Easton Paxton. And for his first hit of the ball game, Jake White trying to shut it down. The pitch missed low, and White thought he had strike 3 again. And you know what? Just let the umpire call it. He started walking toward the dugout, and second walk of the inning. That's 11 walks for Tyler pitching. Base is full of Vikings. And here's Chase Womack. Womack, 2 walks and a homer. He's 1 for 1. First pitch is in there, strike 1. He hit his 9th home run, a solo shot, in the 4th inning. He walked in the 3rd. He walked in the 5th. Fly ball center, playable. And Wilson under it makes the catch, and there's your inning. F8 if you're scoring at the house. The Vikings get 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave them loaded. And we're going to the bottom of the 6th. We got a new score here at historic Mike Carter Field. It's the Grayson Vikings 6 and the Tyler Apaches 4. Back in just a minute. All right, Grayson has gone to the bullpen again, and the new pitcher for the Vikings is Ethan Blakeney. 5'11", 175, a right-handed freshman out of Frisco, Texas. For Blakeney, those will be outing number 4 of the year, all out of the bullpen. 0-1 with a 27.00 ERA. 2 innings pitched. He has struck out 4 and walked 7. Ethan Blakeney, the new pitcher for the Grayson Vikings. Stepping in for the Tyler Apaches, Levi Reisenhuber, the 5-hitter, hit by a pitch, scored a run in the first, flew out to center field on a really good play by Senega. His second time up, so it's 0 for 1 officially. And so now it's Blakeney going from the stretch. Bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch off the plate, ball 1. Kind of hops out of the catcher's glove. New catcher is Trey Walker for the Vikings. Got a nice crowd that has kind of filtered into the ballpark throughout the ball game. Next pitch is in there for a strike. Boy, just about a perfect day, maybe a little breezy. But sun is out, not a cloud in the sky. This is a sunscreen day for sure. 1-1 pitch, had a notion, but held up. 6-4 Grayson, bottom of the 6th. I will head over to UT Tyler when this one's over. Patriots' first game of their postseason against A&M Kingsville. Javelinas are in town for a 3-game best 2 out of 3 series. The winner will end up going to a 4-team double in San Angelo next week. And Angelo State will host the championship round next weekend. And they will play the next 3 teams. There's 3 series going on this weekend in the Lone Star Conference. Boy, good hack right there by Reisenhuber. Just missed it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So the big league club starts their postseason this evening. They were supposed to start yesterday, and the rain moved in, and they went ahead and postponed it for a day. So they'll play today at 7, tomorrow at 3, and then Monday, if necessary, at 1. AAA squad playing Grayson here today. Apaches. And Reisenhuber takes ball 4. So Reisenhuber, that'll be a walk, so he's still only got 1 official at bat. That'll be the first walk by Ethan Blakeney. And unofficially 3 walks for Grayson pitching. And now it's Grayson Linscomb. So Troy Thompson will run for Reisenhuber at first base. And keep your pens handy if you're keeping score at the house. Linscomb steps in. 2 RBI single in the first, which was a big hit in that inning. And then a fly ball to center field in the 4th. Runner going, ground ball to 3rd. You got nowhere to go but first. You throw it across. And there's your first out. 5-3 if you're scoring at the house. With the runner moving, Thompson gets to 2nd easily. So you got runner 2nd with 1 out, and now it's Dalton Wilson. Wilson, an infield single his first time up, drove in a run, and last time up, flew out to right field. Dalton 1 for 2 today. Face the reliever, Ethan Blakeney. It's going to show bunt, pull back, ball 1. The Apaches 33-20 on the year. The Vikings 32-20. Very similar overall records. Apaches 17-13 in conference, and the Vikings 24-8 in conference play. Well, he just missed a fastball. Fouls it straight back. It's 1-1. Both teams sitting in the 2 position as we started play today. And we will try to give you an updated scoreboard if we can here. Try to refresh this page. Boy, look out. Wild pitch is going to send Thompson over to 3rd base. And Walker tried to jump up and catch that ball, just got the glove on it, just the tip of the glove. 2 balls and a strike to Dalton Wilson. Top of the 6th, Panola 5, Paris 2. Top of the 7th, Navarro Northeast are tied 2-2. So lots going on today in Region 14 North. And the Apaches, no matter what they do today, will not know until tonight because both the other teams are playing double headers today. So, boy, fouled straight back. Another good swing by Wilson. Stays alive. Just a single line today in a non-conference 3-game set against the Grayson Vikings. They split a doubleheader in Denison on Thursday afternoon. The payoff pitch, and he missed high, ball 4. So 2 on now for the Apaches as Wilson draws the walk. And stepping in is Nico Ruedis. And here comes Coach Alexander. They're going to make a pitching change. So we'll have a new Grayson pitcher. We'll let you know who it is when we return. 6'4" Grayson, but the Apaches threatening here with 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Back in a minute. All right, the new pitcher for the Vikings, 5'11", 205, a right-handed sophomore out of Granbury, Texas, Tyler Sudderth. And for Sudderth, this will be appearance number 13 of the year, all out of the bullpen, 2-1 with an 8.40 ERA. 15 innings pitched. He struck out 16, walked just 6. The new pitcher, a sophomore from Granbury, Texas, Tyler Sudderth. Now it's Nico Ruedis stepping in. Ruedis has popped up to second and grounded out to short, 0 for 2. The Apaches with a chance here, 2 on, 1 out. They trail 6-4. And you snap a pickoff over, try to keep Wilson close to the bag. First pitch is off the plate. All right, your line score. Grayson, 6 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Tyler, 4 runs on 5 hits. The Tyler Apaches have 2 errors. As we play here in the bottom of the 6th, the Apaches, boy, Ruedis tried to hold up, couldn't do it. 1-1. Apaches with the tying runs aboard here. And only 1 out. Ruedis, the 8th batter in the Tyler lineup. And Sawyer Dunnigan swinging a bat in the on-deck circle for the first time today. Took over in short last inning, and he'll finally come to the plate here. in the bottom of the 6th, unless there's a double play. Sutter the set. Here's the 1-1. Runner on the move, throw to second base, and boy, really close. Got him. What a great job by Sloan Barrett. He took that ball off the turf and put the tag on Wilson for the out. 2-4 caught stealing, and that is a big play in this inning. Now there's 2 outs. And a 2-1 count on Ruedis, the pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Boy, just like that, you're 1 pitch away from the inning being over. So Wilson gunned down, but a star by that tag. So we've seen both second basemen do a really nice job on tough throws on steal plays. 2-2 pitch, misses high and inside, full count. 6-4 Grayson. Well, again, thanks to Chris Langley's grandparents. Appreciate the kind remarks. Certainly good to hear from them. And we're going to hear from some more people. There's ball 4. So Ruedis draws the walk. And that'll be the first walk issued by Sutterth. And unofficially here, just maybe 4 walks for Grayson pitching. Here's Sawyer Dunnigan for the first time. All right, Paul and Jeannie Roberts have checked in from Kansas City, Missouri. Grandparents of Micah Roberts. Appreciate that very much. And thanks for checking in. Hope you're enjoying the game. And that ball's going to miss high and away, ball 1. Bottom of the 6th. Grayson 6, Tyler 4. All right. Well, we'll pick off at first base. Tony Rasek from Old Saybrook, Connecticut. Rooting for the Apaches. Sunny and in the 70s. That's good to know. Sometimes it's still a little chilly up that way. Here's the 1-0. Way inside. Breaking ball got away from him a little bit. Good job by Trey Walker, the catcher. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs, 2 aboard. Apaches trying to come from behind here as the Vikings have taken the lead 6-4. Vikings have scored all 6 runs in the last 3 at-bats. 1 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and 2 more in the 6th. Apaches opened this game up with 3 in the 1st and a single tally in the 5th. Line drive into right, base hit. That'll score a run. Ruedis will hit second and head toward third, and he'll get there. RBI single for Sawyer Dunnigan. And the Apaches now, it's a 1-run lead. So the leadoff walk to Reisenhover turns into a run. And Ruedis hustles to third base. So now the tying run 90 feet away. 6-5 our score. Top of the lineup. And it's Rasek again. So Tony, here he comes. James Rasek drew a walk his first time up. He would score a run back in the 5th. And he also would steal his 8th base of the year. There's a ball in the dirt. Another good block by Walker. 1 ball, no strikes to James Rasek. Well, you're not seeing Finn yet as Josiah Mackey back out in the on-deck area. You may not see Finn. I don't know. That pitch is going to be outside corner, strike 1. Well, the nice thing about these kind of games is you can kind of do some things. There's a tapper to third, and Womack going to catch and throw on the run, make the play. Nicely done for out number 3. 5-3 if you're scoring at the house, but the Apaches narrow the lead. They got 1, and we got a new score as we go to the 7th. It's Grayson 6 and Tyler 5. This is the catcher, the new catcher, Trey Walker, taking ball 1. Jake White back on the mound for the Apaches. So we didn't have to write in a new pitcher this time, but we do have, we got a right-hander throwing the bullpen, so we'll have another one for the Apaches at some point. That pitch is in there for a strike. It's 1-1. First plate appearance for Trey Walker. He took over behind the plate back in the 6th inning. High pop-up out of play. And, boy, look out. Yeah, there you go. That's on top of the press box. With never a doubt there. And it scared a bunch of people below. The 1-2. Boy, pretty good pitch there. White thought he had strike 3. And if truth be told, I think Trey Walker was taking a half step back toward the Grayson dugout. He'll get another crack at it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, nobody out. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. So strikeout for White. That'll be his 2nd of the day. Apaches have struck out 4 Vikings. Back to the top you go. Sloan Barrett. And he'll step in for the 5th time today. 0 for 4. Almost time to stretch it out at the ballpark here. Boy, just missed off the plate, ball 1. Got the left-on-left matchup. Jake White, the sophomore out of Forney, and Sloan Barrett looking for his first hit of the day. The 1-0. High pop-up should be playable here. Wilson in center field puts the glove on it, 2 outs. So F8 if you're scoring at the house, and now it's Brooks Dwinell for the 2nd time. He hit a little chopper on the third base side. It was an infield single. So he's 1 for 1. 6-5 Grayson. Top of the 7th. And I'm getting ready to stretch it out here in the press box. It's time to get out of that lazy boy chair back at the house. 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike. It's 0-2. Thanks for all the emails, and keep them coming if you haven't checked in on the email. Still got a couple innings to go, so 0-2 pitch. A little half swing, and it's going to bounce in front of the second baseman, and he's safe. Boy, tough play there. And it's Lathan Van Alsdahl. He came in, gloved it, and tried to flip it over to Linscomb at first base, and by the time he did, good base running there by Brooks Dwinell. He beats it out. So that'll be an infield single. 2-out single. And now it's Boston Lee for the 2nd time. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Pensacola, Florida. Grandparents of Sawyer Dunnigan. Donna Malden checking in. Cheering on the Apaches. So hope it's a great day in Pensacola. Thanks for checking in. As Sawyer out there playing short right now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. A pretty good spot there, called a ball. 6 runs on 7 hits, no errors for Grayson. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Tyler. There goes the runner. Check swing and no throw. That'll be a stolen base for Brooks Dwinell. And it's 3-1. So the Vikings trying to extend a 1-run lead here, trying to get that run back. The Apaches have scored single runs in the last 2 innings. To keep this thing close, it's still a 1-run game. The 3-1 pitch. Fly ball right field. This could be trouble, but running over, making the catch. And that'll do it. Let's see who's out there in right field. And that is James Rasek making that nice running catch. F9 if you're scoring at the house. So the Vikings, no runs on 1 hit. They leave a guy on. And it's time to stretch it out at the ballpark. Preston Caldwell's got Take Me Out to the Ball Game plan. It's a 1-run game, 6-5 Grayson. Back in a minute.
15, Landon Miller.
All right. Hold on to your pens here because the Apaches, this is Landon Miller. So we're in the 2 spot. Miller batting, and is Miller, he's not a catcher, is he? So you're probably going to have maybe Finn come in and catch. I don't know. Is Miller a catcher? Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2. He's an outfielder. So we'll just see how they play it here. So Landon Miller is going to hit for Josiah Mackey in the 2 spot. And swing and a miss. And that's Tyler Sudderth making quick work of Miller. His first strikeout. And 6 strikeouts for Grayson pitching. And here's Clayton Brandon for the second time in the 3 spot. Designated hitter, struck out swinging his first time up, 0 for 1. Tyler Sudderth, the sophomore from Granbury, back on the mound for the Vikings. Boy, big swing right there, fouls it off, 0-1. Well, you just got to keep looking at the on-deck circle. The next batter is number 2. So Van Alsdahl will hit for the second time. He's on the on-deck circle. 0-1 pitch is low. We're 1-1. 6-5 Grayson, bottom of the 7th inning. Apaches trying to get win number 34 of the year. Vikings, it would be win number 33 of the year. 1-1 pitch, had a notion, and yes, he did. 1-2. Well, certainly appreciate the emails. And well, here comes another one. Good. Grandma Alice Targowski checking in from Trumbull, Connecticut. Ground ball, right side. Boy, way in the hole, and you throw him out. Nicely done there by Sloan Barrett. We're out number 1. Or 2, excuse me. Clayton Brandon grounds out. And Sloan Barrett's been out there all day. He was playing in the hole, and he retreated like, I don't know, 3 steps into right field and kind of made that sidearm flip to first to get the second out of the inning. Now it's Lathan Van Alsdahl for the second time. Van Alsdahl flew out to center and is only at bat today. So he's 0 for 1. First pitch misses. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Tyler Sudderth, the pitch. In there for a strike. Evens the count. So thanks for checking in, and thanks for the kind remarks from Alice Targowski. Checking in from Connecticut. The 1-1. High pop-up. This should end the inning. Straight up the chute. Trey Walker, now it's going to be the third base. He dropped it. Fair ball, and boy, you don't run, and it's going to be, oh, the ball gets away. Good gracious. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm going to give that an error. E5. And Van Alsdahl will reach on the error. That ball should have been caught by Chase Womack. Well, you thought that Trey Walker, the catcher, was going to catch it, and then at the last minute, Womack came running in, mine, and it went off his glove and fell in fair territory, and Van Alsdahl was not running. And with that north wind, that blew that thing about a foot fair. And on a normal day, it might have blown really out of live ball area, but today, it went straight up the chute and came back, and it looked like it was come back and foul, but at the last minute, kind of curved into fair territory, and Womack dropped it. And so that'll be an error on the third baseman. 2 balls and no strikes now to Troy Thompson. And he was a pinch runner for Reisenhover, and he stayed in the game. And, boy, nice pick over there at first base by Godwin. Snap throw by Walker. It's a 1-run game, so the tying run at first in the person of Lathan Van Alsdahl. Wouldn't be surprised if you Try to get him to second base here. Swing and a miss by Thompson. 3-1, you might go right here. Sudderth is set. The 3-1. Hammered into left field, but foul. And it one hops into that bullpen area where the Vikings are. We got bullpens in foul ball area, dead ball area on both sides of the ballpark. And we also have batting cages in both corners. So this is not only a great place to watch a game, but also I've coached here for 17 years, and it's a great place to practice. You get so much done. You got 3 full batting cages, 4 bullpen mounds, and obviously the game field. 3-2, 2 outs, the pitch off the end of the bat, and right over toward Linscomb in the on-deck area, and we'll do it again. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, 6-5 Vikings. This is a non-conference game for both these teams, so basically a tune-up for playoffs next weekend. And I would say that both coaches are getting just about everything they want out of this game. 3-2 pitch, high pop-up left field. Should be playable here. Boston Lee is out there now, and he'll make the grab for out number 3. F7 if you're scoring at the house. No runs. On no hits, you leave one guy on, and we're through 7 here at Mike Carter Field. Grayson leads this one by 1, 6-5. We'll be back in a minute. You're watching Tyler Baseball on ApacheAthletics.com. Four, 5, 6 for the Vikings. They hold on to a 1-run lead, top of 8. New pitcher for the Apaches, Jonathan Grieve, 6 foot, 210, a right-handed freshman out of Fort Worth, Texas. He'll take over for Jake White. White ends up throwing 47 pitches today. And the first pitch by Grieve is in there for a strike. Jonathan Grieve, 11th appearance of the year, 2-0 with a 11.57 ERA, 9 1/3 innings, 13 strikeouts, 14 walks in 9 1/3. You like the strikeout ratio, you don't like the walk ratio. 13 strikeouts in 9 1/3 is good. 14 walks in that many innings is not so good. This will be Grieve's 11th appearance. And he's quickly gotten ahead of Austin Godwin, 0-2. From the set, the pitch. Popped out of play, right side, and just gets over those bleachers. And out of play. Mike Carter Field was the host of the Division III Junior College World Series for 8 years, from 2007 to 2014. Apaches would win 2 national titles here before it was moved to Kinston, North Carolina, and then I think now it's Greenville, Tennessee, I think. No, the D3 is actually, it's back in Auburn, New York. Auburn Doubledays. It's where the D3 World Series has. It was in New York before it came to Tyler. Swing and a miss, got in. Godwin strikes out, and that'll be a first strikeout for Grieve. Apache pitchers have struck out 5 Vikings, and there's 1 away. Now it's Brandon Creek for the 5th time. Godwin now 2 for 5 on the day with that strikeout. Now it's Brandon Creek. Couple of walks, couple of hits. Creek is 2 for 2 today. Got a single and a double. First pitch into left center, and boy, nice sliding catch in left field by, is that Thompson? All right, Dalton Wilson is out in left field now, so yeah, who knows? I can't. Wilson.
For the Vikings, number 12, Carson Garrett.
So who's in center right now? Is it Thompson? Okay, so just a little switcheroo in the outfield. So nice play by Dalton Wilson. And there's 2 outs. So this will bring up Carson Garrett for the 2nd time. Garrett struck out swinging. Both teams, my score sheet is absolutely a mess here as we try to keep up with who's coming and who's going. Both at the plate and in the field. Fouled straight back, and Carson Garrett now in a hole 0-2. Jonathan Grieve has come out of that bullpen just pumping strikes. And he's trying to get a very short 1, 2, 3/8 inning. The set. And the pitch. Well, he had a notion but held up. That's a good take right there. It's 1-2. Grieve the set. The 1-2 coming up. Here it is. Popped it straight back over our heads, out of play. Still 1-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Carson Garrett, the 6th hitter in the Grayson lineup. Here's the next 1-2 pitch. And that's chopped foul into the Grayson dugout. Well, you might take a day off. Both these clubs might take Sunday off. And then you got probably 3 days of good practice, and maybe you travel on Thursday or maybe Friday. I think maybe Friday you travel. I don't know. Depends on when games start. Swing and a miss. Got him. Boy, big sweeping breaking ball. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Grieve. 6 punch-outs for Tyler pitching. It's a 1, 2, 3/8 inning. We're going to the bottom half. The Apaches trail the Grayson Vikings 6-5. Back in just a minute. Little tapper by Lincecum, third base side. You catch it, you throw it, 1 out. New pitcher for the Vikings, Donald Lent, 6'2", 180. Left-handed freshman out of Deer Park, New York. And he induces the ground ball to third by Grayson Lincecum. So Grayson now 1 for 4 today. A couple of ground balls to third, a fly ball to center, and that RBI, 2 RBI single to center in the first. So Lincecum out. Here's Dalton Wilson. Shows bunt. Takes strike 1. Wilson, an infield single or an RBI, a fly ball to right, and a walk. So Dalton 1 for 2 today with a run driven in. Big left-hander, Donald Lent. Big breaking ball, just misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Paris lost to Panola in the opener, 5-4. So that'll help the Apaches. The Paris Dragons cannot catch Tyler. So at the very least, they'll be third. Pop up, straight up to shoot. This is Walker. And can't quite corral it. It bounced right in front of the Apache on-deck circle for strike 1. Trey Walker went drifting over, and it fell right at his feet. Could not put the glove on it. So it's 1-2. So with Panola beating Paris 5-4 in the opener, that means the Dragons cannot catch the Apaches. They are now at 14 losses. And depending on what Northeast does in Game 2, because Northeast defeated Navarro narrowly 3-2 in the opener. So if Navarro can get that second game from Northeast, the Apaches would finish second. Ground ball, nice play at first base, and he takes it himself. Really nice play by Austin Godwin for out number 2. If you're scoring at the house, that's a 3U. So 2 up, 2 down in the Apache 8th inning. And Nico Ruedas for the 4th time. Pop up to second, ground ball to short, and a walk. He's 0 for 2. Wilson will end this day more than likely 1 for 3 with a run driven in after that really nice play. But a star by that one by Goodwin. First pitch misses. It's ball 1. It's 1-0 to Ruedas. Big left-hander Donald Lent trying to work a 1-2-3/8. That's going to miss low and inside. And Ruedas saying it hit him. And Mr. Home Plate umpire shaking his head saying, no, sir. You got the 2-man umpiring crew here today, so first base ump did not say anything. Nico's going to get back in there and hit. We talked on the pregame show with Coach Brett Doe, and any controversies, the instruction is do not get thrown out of this game at all costs. Because if you get tossed, it's going to cost you some playoff baseball, and it's just not worth it. The 3-0 in there for a strike, 3-1. Not for a coach, not for a player. The next games, both these teams will play, will be playoff. Here's the 3-1. Off the plate, ball 4. So a 2-out walk to Ruedas will put him at first base as the tying run. And that'll be the first walk for Donald Lent. 5 walks for Grayson pitching. And Sawyer Dunnigan for the second time. He had an RBI single to right his first time up. He's 1 for 1. And there's a wild pitch that goes to the screen. And now, just like that, you got the tying run in scoring position for Sawyer Dunnigan. Single here ties the game. 6-5 Grayson, bottom of the 8th inning. Non-conference games for both these teams. Look out, hit the ball. That one went off the net. And over to third goes Ruedas. So back-to-back wild pitches. Now the tying run 90 feet away. Donald Lent, after retiring the first 2 batters, walked Ruedas, and 2 wild pitches has Ruedas at third base. That pitch is in there. 2 balls and a strike. After throwing 2 wild pitches that weren't close, he threw the breaking ball right over the plate. Dunnigan took it for a strike. Left on left matchup. Full windup for Lent. And that's in there for a strike. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Apaches trying to tie this game. Tying run 90 feet away. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Got him to chase a high fastball. And that'll do it. First strikeout for Donald Lent. And let's see, unofficially, let's see, 6 strikeouts for Grayson pitching on the day. Apaches, no runs on no hits. You strand a guy at third base. And we're headed to the 9th inning. Grayson leads this one 6-5. Back in a minute. You're watching Tyler Baseball on ApacheAthletics.com. All right, the Apaches have gone to their bullpen once again, and the new pitcher is Austin Shirley. And let's just pull this up here and see. Austin Shirley, 5'11", 180, a right-handed freshman out of Cypress, Texas. For Shirley, it'll be appearance number 8 of the year. He has 1 start under his belt. 0-2 with a 12.19 ERA. 10 1/3 innings for Shirley. He has struck out 6 and walked 10. New pitcher, a freshman from Cypress, Texas, Austin Shirley. First pitch is off the plate, ball 1. At the plate, Easton Paxton. And Paxton on the day, couple of walks. Ground ball to short, fly ball to center. Fly ball to center again. This will be easy play out there. And that's Thompson for out number 1. So F8 if you're scoring at the house. Troy Thompson gathers that one in. And Chase Womack now. Solo home run back in the 4th inning. Couple of walks, fly ball to center. Womack 1 for 2. First pitch is going to miss high. So Grieve ended up throwing 12 pitches in his appearance today. Unofficially, Grayson has left 12 on base today, 9 in scoring position. The Apaches have left 8 on, 5 in scoring position. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Boy, kind of half-hearted there. You got to go all or nothing if you're going to hit the ball. Kind of started his swing and said, oops, and just let it go. 1-2. Full windup for Shirley, and fouled off to the left side. Ball's in the parking lot. Over toward the Rose Garden. Boy, what a nice day here. A little breezy, but just a beautiful day for baseball. Swing and a miss. 2 outs. First strikeout recorded by Austin Shirley. 7 strikeouts unofficially for the Tyler pitching staff. They have struck out 3 of their last 4. Or, excuse me, 3 of the last 5. And now it's the catcher, Trey Walker. Struck out swinging his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. Shirley pumps a strike in there. It's 0-1. We're in the top of the 9th. 6-5 Grayson. And these two clubs split a doubleheader, 6-4 and 2-0 on Thursday at Grayson. And quickly, Shirley ahead of Trey Walker, 0-2. 2 outs, nobody aboard. Austin Shirley, the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss, got him. Very short work for the Vikings here in the 9th inning. Second strikeout for Austin Shirley, and that unofficially is 8 strikeouts for Tyler pitching. It's a 1-2-3 9th. And we'll go to the bottom half. The Apaches looking for 1 to tie, 2 to walk them off. They'll go to the top of the lineup. Rasek, and I don't know who's going to hit second. We'll have to check that out. And then Clayton Brandon scheduled to hit third. Back in a minute. James Rasek to lead it off for the Apaches. They need 1 to tie, 2 to walk them off. Top of the order, it's Rasek, Finn Kayala, and Clayton Brandon scheduled to hit. First pitch off the plate, ball 1. New pitcher for the Vikings, Jack Surdy. And Jack Surdy, a 12th appearance of the year. He does have 2 starts for the Vikings. Ground ball to short, and you catch it, you throw it, 1 out. And that's going to be Brandon Creek at shortstop making that play, I think. Yeah, it is. So 1 up and 1 down in the Apache 9th. First at bat for Finn Kayala of the day. And so he caught last inning. He had a pinch hitter back in the 7th inning. First pitch swung on, foul down the first base side, strike 1. So this will be the first at bat for Finn. And he's behind 0-1 to Jack Surdy. Jack Surdy 1-0 with a 4.74 ERA. Another foul ball, first base side, and it's 0-2. 12th appearance, 2 starts, 1-0 with a 4.74, 19 innings pitched. He struck out 13 and walked 11. Grayson will have about a 2.5-hour trip. Boy, Denison is right on the border of Texas, Oklahoma. Swing and a miss, got him. Might have chased one high. And the Apaches down to their last out. First strikeout for Surdy. And 7 strikeouts for Grayson pitching. Landry Stamps will hit here in the 3 spot. So this is his first plate appearance of the day. As the Apaches down to their last out. First pitch misses inside, ball 1. Van Alsdahl is on deck, hoping he gets a chance. The 1-0. Fly ball will hit to left field. Back toward the wall. Right at the fence. It's caught. Boy, he was playing really deep. And that ball carried. Stamps just about got himself a home run there. But as it will, it'll be a F7, and the Grayson Vikings win this series 2-1. And that will do it. Apaches no runs on no hits, no errors here in the ninth. Your final line score, let's look it up here real quick. Let's see. Grayson 6 runs on 7 hits. The Vikings commit 1 error. The Apaches 5 runs on 7 hits. And the Apaches have committed 2 errors in this game. So let's go ahead and wrap this one up. And we will not know exactly what comes next for these two teams. But let's go ahead and look at the box score real quick. And first of all, we'll go through the boy, golly, how are we going to figure out who won and lost this game? Well, we'll figure it out. The Apaches, by losing this game, their overall record now will be it'll finish at 33-21, and they will stay at 17-13 in Region 14 North play. The Vikings will win their 33rd game against 20 losses, and in conference they are 24-8, and they will. I don't think they can finish any higher than second in conference. Well, they could though. If Weatherford loses today, they could win it. Not 100% on that, but both teams came into today's ball game, a non-conference game, in second place in their respective conferences. So, we'll. I don't think we're going to know by the time we go off today who's going to go where. But this is a Grayson win, and boy, your winning pitcher. Let's just see about this. 3-0. They took the lead, and let's see, it was 4-3 in the 5th, 4-4. So whoever was pitching in the 6th inning, or after the 6th inning, going to the 7th inning, I think it's going to be Sudderth that's going to get the win. Don't quote me on that, but I'm going to go ahead and unofficially give it to him on the air. I'll have to go back and look at the scorebook after the game and make sure that that's accurate. But right now, I think that Sudderth is going to go 3-1 if, in fact, he gets the win. So we'll call Tyler Sudderth the winning pitcher. Your losing pitcher, and let's see about this. 5. Whoever gave up that 6th run in the 6th inning. And it might be Roman Tolbert. I'm gonna unofficially say, well, let's see. In the 6th though, 5th inning. No, it's the 6th inning. Jake White came in the 6th inning, so it might be Jake White. Well, we'll just have to figure that out after. For now, I'm going to give the loss to Jake White. And let's look at Jake White's numbers here. Let's see. Jake White unofficially would go to 0-2. And so there's your winning and losing pitchers unofficially. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to go back in and double check that. It may not be right. But let's go back and kind of walk through how this game played out. The Apaches would open this game up with a 3-run first inning, and they would bring 7 batters to the plate. Big hit in that inning was a Linscomb 2-run single. It was 3-0 Apaches after an inning. It would stay 3-0 all the way to the 4th inning. Grayson would get a solo home run on Chase Womack's 9th homer of the year, and the score would be 3-1 after 4 innings. Well, the Vikings would score 3 in the top of the 5th to tie it 4-4, as they would bring 8 batters to the plate. An RBI single by Godwin, a sac fly by Schultz, and a ground ball by Paxton were the 3 RBI at-bats of that inning. And at that point, it was 4-4, but the Apaches, it was 4-3, Grayson. Apaches would tie it in the bottom of the 5th. on an RBI double by Chase Fuente. No, that's not. That's by Josiah Mackey. So Mackey would get the RBI double to tie the game 4-4 as we went to the 6th inning. Well, Grayson would come back and score 2 in their half of the 6th inning. They would again bring 8 batters to the plate. RBI single for Godwin again, and an RBI double by Brandon Creek were the big hits in that inning. So at that point, it was 6-4 Grayson. The Apaches would make it 6-5 in the bottom half of the 6th on an RBI single by Sawyer Dunnigan off the bench. And so, boy, that would be it. The pitching staffs took over from there, and nothing but donuts in the 7th, 8th, and 9th for both pitching staffs. And so, again, your final line score, Grayson, 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Tyler, 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. Let's go back and look at the box score for both clubs and give you some stars of the game here. We had a ton of hitters. We had a lot of pinch hitters. And you had a couple of multi-hit guys for the Vikings. Brooks Dwinell had a nice ball game. He came off the bench 2 for 2. He scored a run. And Austin Godwin, a nice 2 for 5 day. He scored 1, drove 2 in. Brandon Creek, a nice day, 2 for 3 for the shortstop. And that would be the only multi-hit players of the game. Again, only 7 hits for both clubs, but there's your stars of the game offensively for Grayson. On the pitching side of it, Grady Moore started this one. He went 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 3. Moore would face 14 batters. Then it was Kai Parker for 2 innings. Parker gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It was an earned run. He walked 1, struck out 2. Parker would face 8 Apache batters. Then it was Ethan Blakeney for a couple of innings. And, well, I don't know if they got they did not get Sutter on the box score, so we're not going to get his numbers. So those numbers are not going to be right for Blakeney. After Blakeney, it was Donald Lent. And Lent went 1 complete inning, no hits, no runs, walked 1 and struck out 1. He would face 4 batters. And then the last pitcher of the day would be Jack Surdy. And I believe Surdy will get a save here. Surdy goes 1 complete inning, no hits, no runs, and no walks, 1 strikeout. He would retire the side in order in the 9th inning. So save for Surdy. And let's look at see how many saves that makes him have to date. That'll be save number 2 for Surdy. That is in the books, so we know that's right. And so that's your box score info for the Grayson Vikings. On the Apache side of it, again, only 7 hits total. No one had more than 1 hit for the Apaches. Newberry 1 for 2 in this ball game. Chase Fuentes, a 1 for 1 day. He would score a run. Josiah Mackey 1 for 2. Josiah would drive in a run with that double. And, boy, you got to go all the way down to Linscomb. 1 for 4 day for Grayson. He drove in 2 today, did Grayson. Dalton Wilson, a 1 for 3 day. He drove in a run. Ruedis was 1 for 3. He drove in a run. And Sawyer Dunnigan was a 1 for 2 hitter today. And so those 7 different guys had 1 hit apiece for the Apaches. On the pitching side of it, the Apaches would use 7 arms today. Will Patterson started. He went 1 2/3. We hope he's okay. He came out kind of quickly in that 2nd inning. He goes up an inning and 2/3. No hits, no runs. He walked 3, struck out 2, and he faced 8 batters. Then it was Dylan Davenport for 2 1/3 innings. Davenport would give up 2 hits, 1 run. It was an earned run. He walked 1, did not strike out a batter. Dylan Davenport faced 11 Viking hitters today. He gave way to Colton Eichner. Eichner did not record an out. He gave up 2 runs. They were both earned. He would walk 2, and he faced 2 batters. He would not strike anyone out. He gave the ball to Roman Tolbert. Tolbert would throw 1 complete inning. He would give up 1 hit, 1 run. It was an earned run. 2 walks, and did not strike out a batter. Roman would face 6 Viking hitters today. Then it was Jake White for 2 innings. Jake would give up 4 hits, 2 runs. 1 of them were earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. And Jake White would face 12 Grayson hitters today. Jonathan Grieve came on for an inning. No hits, no runs. He did not walk a batter, and Jonathan Grieve would strike out 2 of the 3 batters he faced. He got them in order in the 8th. And then Austin Shirley threw in the 9th inning. No runs, did not walk a batter, and struck out 2 Grayson Vikings. And so there's your box score for both clubs. And really what turns out to be a dress rehearsal for playoffs. And again, we don't know. What we do know, I think, is the Apaches can finish no lower than 3rd, as Panola has beaten Parrots in Game 1. So that gives them 14 losses. And so depending on what happens in these other games, the Apaches could still finish in 2nd. And if they finish in 2nd, they'll go to the South Regional next weekend. If they finish in 3rd, they'll head to Bossier. And so that's what the Apaches have in store for them. And, again, we won't know final things as you look at Luaneda out on that field running the bases. So enjoy that. I know that I get kudos from the grandparents for getting to see their grandkids on that field every time. Some game stats here for both teams. With 2 outs, the Vikings were 2 for 11 today. With 2 outs, the Apaches 5 for 14 today with 2 outs. So actually, that's a pretty good number for the Apaches. With runners on base, Grayson was 4 for 13. That's a 308 clip. The Apaches actually 5 for 12 with runners on base. That's a 417 clip. So we did see some good things here. With runners in scoring position, the Apaches 4 for 9. That's 444. Grayson just 2 for 8 today with runners in scoring position. The leadoff batters today, Grayson 2 for 9 and the Apaches 1 for 9. So that was a sore spot for Tyler today. With runners on and less than 2 outs, the Apaches did not get 0 for 1 in that situation. And Grayson 3 for 6, hitting 500 in those scenarios. Since with the bases loaded, Grayson 0 for 2 today. The Apaches were 1 for 1 with the bases loaded. On the pitching side, Grayson would throw 134 pitches. The Apaches would throw 175 pitches today. Grayson with, 50 strikes and 50 balls and 84 strikes for the Viking pitchers. The Apaches, 76 balls and 99 strikes. The walks were an issue today for the Apache pitching staff. And as we go back and look at the pitchers, the total number of walks today was 10 for Tyler. You're just not going to win many games. And it's fortunate that they were even in a 1-run game with 10 walks. Grayson would only walk 5 batters today. The Grayson pitchers would strike out 8, and the Apache pitchers would also strike out 8 batters today. So there are some bright spots for both of these clubs. I think the good news is that we didn't see anyone really, didn't appear as though anyone got injured. And so Grayson Vikings will get on the bus and have about a 2.5-hour trip back to Denison, Texas, right at the border of Texas, Oklahoma, north of Dallas, 130 miles from Tyler. And so our best wishes to Cal Hernandez and the Viking squad. It would be awesome if the Tyler Apaches would meet up with the Vikings in Grand Junction. That means both these teams would get really hot in the next couple of weeks and find their way to the Junior College World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. And so our best wishes to Coach Hernandez. Good to visit with him before the game today. And the Apaches, both these clubs will probably take a day off tomorrow. And then, like I said, you got 3, maybe 4 practices at the most. If you're going to play Saturday, you're probably going to travel on Friday to get wherever you're playing playoffs. But a good day at the yard for both clubs and a good competitive ball game, some high-leverage pitches, some high-leverage at-bats. But I think all in all, I think both these coaches would agree that this was probably well worth the exercise. And it really worked out well. We talked about this on the pregame with both coaches. But, boy, it's awful nice to be able to play some really good clubs, getting your team ready for the playoff scenario. And so, this will be the last broadcast for – let's just see about this. There's an outside chance we would do a road game, but more than likely they will be on TSBN. especially if they're at Blinn. They do a nice job with a couple of cameras set up down at Blinn College. If the Apaches go down to Blinn, that'll probably be the scenario. If it's at Bossier, TSBN has done some games from there, and I would expect that they might send a crew there to do the games at Bossier Parish, but not 100% on that if they do go to Bossier. It would be a slight chance that we would go over there and do games. But I have enjoyed getting these games to you all season long, as and I've appreciated all the feedback on the emails. Sure is fun to hear from you guys all over the U.S. and all over the country. And so that will wrap things up for 2025 for me as we enjoyed bringing these games to you all spring long. I got to head over to UT Tyler. The Patriots got their first postseason game against A&M Kingsville here at a 7 o'clock start, so I got to hustle over there and get ready for that one. But thanks for watching. Thanks for your emails. It's been great to hear from you all over the country, all over the world, all season long. So that, for the whole athletic department at Tyler Junior College, that includes athletic director Mr. Doug Wren, and I'm guessing he's probably over at the tennis courts as we host the National Tennis Tournament this week. Women Apache tennis team going for a national championship on our campus at Murphy Tennis Center. So a big shout out to Coach Wren and Doug Wren, probably directing traffic over there, and Preston Caldwell, our associate athletic director. Boy, done a great job in the press box as the PA guy off and on all season. So thanks for Preston stepping in all season long and what he does just every day in that athletic department. And a big congratulations to Tyler Roman. She is now married young woman. So congrats, Tyler. And she's got family in town for the weekend. And, boy, what a celebratory day for her yesterday and this weekend with her family in town. So congrats to Tyler Roman. She tells all the great stories of the athletes and coaches as our assistant athletic director in charge of sports information. So, Tyler, congrats. Appreciate all you do. And we wish you and Alan the very best moving forward. And, of course, Jordan Jones, she keeps all of us straight back in WAG Gym. She's probably over at those tennis courts right now, helping run that tennis tournament. So up here in the press box, Cody Brash was doing the scoreboard today, and I think we had Colton Eichner down in the dugout doing the live stats. Another shout out to Nolan John Doe, Big Tex. Glad to hear he was back in town after getting that arm surgically repaired. We certainly pray for a quick recovery and get him back on the mound as soon as possible. But Nolan John Doe handled the stats for the first half of this season. And that score bug you see on the scoreboard there, Nolan did that for most of the season, and then he passed the iPad off to some of the players that kept it in the dugout for the other half when he got surgery. So, Nolan, we wish you the best. Thanks for all your help on the live stats. And, again, the PA guys up here all year. We had Jeremy Boyd from time to time. We had Bill Bumpus as well helping us out in the press box. And at some point we had Dylan Davenport up here doing the scoreboard. But appreciate all the help up here in the press box all year long. It's been a joy of mine to bring these games to you. Thanks for watching. Thanks be to God who gives us the victory through Jesus Christ our Lord. The Grayson Vikings win this series 2-1. They win today by a score of 6-5. Until next season, or until next time, this is Dr. John Groth signing off from Mike Carter Field in Tyler, Texas. So long, everybody.